USA on ESPN. Tonight, two teams step out of conference play to renew a good old-fashioned regional rivalry as the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs host Southern Miss. Welcome into Joe IA Stadium alongside my good friend and 14-year NFL veteran Luke McCown. I'm Malcolm Butler. Both these teams got off to a great start in conference play last week. Louisiana Tech defeating New Mexico State 49-14, while Southern Miss defeated App State in Hattiesburg. To take a look at our series history between these two teams, this is a series that dates back 90 years. Southern Miss leads the all-time series between the two teams, 36-17, as this will be the 54th meeting all-time. The Golden Eagles have had a lot of success in Ruston as well, leading the series 17-9. Luke, as we talked to both head coaches this week, they're awfully proud of their starting quarterbacks, two young men that can hurt you through the air and on the ground.
Yeah, and our quarterback comparison tonight, Malcolm, starts with Braylon Braxton because that's where it starts for this Golden Eagle offense. He was newcomer of the year in the Sun Belt Conference last year. He followed his coach from Marshall down to Hattiesburg, a very efficient passer completing.
We are underway here at Joe IA Stadium in Ruston. Louisiana Tech's kickoff goes through the end zone. It'll be a touchback for Southern Miss. So the Golden Eagles will come out with Braylon Braxton, the starting quarterback for Southern Miss, transfer from Marshall, one of 21 Marshall transfers on this Southern Miss team as they followed their former head coach, Charles Huff. So Braxton, the quarterback for the Golden Eagles. Robert Briggs, the tailback. This Louisiana Tech defense has been spectacular through 3 games. Louisiana Tech in the all-red. It's a red out here at Joe IA Stadium on this Saturday night. They're going to run a little flea flicker to start this game. Deep down the middle of the field, and it is knocked away. It was intended for Carl Chester. He was open, Luke, but Braxton's pass kind of hung up in the air, and Louisiana Tech recovered defensively.
So they're coming out early saying, we don't care about your 3 deep safeties, this 3-3-5 defense. We're going to try and light you up with a trick play early. Flea flicker. Great job of the Tech defense.
That
recovering.
was Jamal Shelby Jr. who got over there and knocked it away. This time they hand it to Briggs. He'll pick up a hard 3 yards. Kobe Fields on the tackle for Louisiana Tech. It'll bring up an early 3rd and 7.
This offense has scored 30 points 3 games in a row. They're very efficient. Not as much down the field as you would think with a guy that's thrown for almost 700 yards in 3 games already. They really thrive in the intermediate passing game.
Empty backfield. And they tried to throw it underneath. That was once again intended for Chester, thrown high and behind him, and so it'll be a 3 and out. And the Louisiana Tech defense holds, and Southern Miss will come out.
Uncharacteristic for Braxton right there. It's just a tunnel screen to the left side of the field. You're trying to lead your receiver up in the tunnel. We call it a tunnel screen. The offensive line, your left guard, left tackle release, trying to create a tunnel up the numbers.
The punt is away, and it is fielded at about the 27, bobbled momentarily by Dedrick Latulis, but he recovers it. That was Reed Herodine punting for Southern Miss, as their normal punter, Jack Murley, did not come out. That's a 46-yard punt, and Louisiana Tech will take over 1st and 10 at his own 27. Blake Baker, who ran for over 100 yards last week in his first collegiate start, will come out for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think he shocked everybody a little bit last week. We talked to Coach Franklin this week. Even he was surprised at how well he ran the ball. Feels like it has a lot to do with watching Trey Cucook run the ball in the first 2 games as well.
Takes the handoff underneath, big tight end wide open. That's Finley. It's going to be a foot race. 40, 30. Finley down to the 10. And he will be dragged down at the 1-yard line. Eli Finley, blown coverage by the Golden Eagles that time.
Yeah, it's just an RPO. They were able to sneak him out the front side of the formation, right behind the linebackers, and a great job. Coach Franklin talked about getting Eli involved in this game. He's not been as involved in the pass game in the first 2 games.
Baker will keep it. He goes straight up the middle, and Blake Baker with the touchdown, and it takes Louisiana Tech 2 plays to go 73 yards. That was a 72-yard pass completion on first down, and the Bulldogs waste little time in taking the early 6-0 lead.
2 plays in scoring, getting Finley involved early, as I was saying, getting him going, letting him feel the rhythm of the offense, and then finishing with basically where you started last week with Blake Baker running the football for the touchdown.
Drew Henderson on to attempt the extra point for Louisiana Tech. Snap was a little high, and it hits the upright and goes through. So early indications, things going right for Louisiana Tech as the Bulldogs, less than 2 minutes in this ball game, take a 7-0 lead. We'll be back to Joy A Stadium momentarily. Thank you, Madison. Louisiana Tech leads at 7-0, and Southern Miss will come back out for its second possession of this first quarter. Golden Eagles went 3 and out on their first possession. Braylon Braxton's thrown for almost 700 yards and 7 touchdowns so far this year, but he hung one up on a little flea flicker on the first play of the game where he had his receiver Chester open and then threw one behind Chester on third down. So on that first possession, just a little bit off by Braylon Braxton, the transfer from Marshall. Sun Belt Conference newcomer of the year last year for the Thundering Herd. First down run, will pick up a couple of yards. That's Briggs.
And it'll be about patience for Braylon Braxton, as it is for every quarterback that plays this 3-3-5 defense. There's not a lot of windows to throw the ball in. Check the ball down, work it on the edge, Get the ball in play, get it into your playmakers' hands.
2nd down and 8. Makes the handoff, throws it underneath, and that'll be complete. Bulls his way forward past the 30-yard line to the 31. That was Braylon Brown on the reception. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
One of the things this offense is really, really good at is spreading the ball around. They've got 3 receivers that already have 8+ catches on the year.
Going to take a shot up this left side, and it is complete to Chester as he reaches above the Louisiana Tech defensive back that time, Amari Butler, and there's a big play there for the Golden Eagles.
And that's a guy that Braylon Braxton is really comfortable with. They were together at Tulsa and at Marshall, now again here at Southern Miss.
Looking down the field, plenty of time over the middle. He's got a man running open, and it is caught for the touchdown. So Southern Miss answers right back as it's Kyron Heath, the big tight end out of Mansfield, Texas, on the 30-yard touchdown catch, and it's 7-6 that quickly.
Fantastic throw, fantastic read. He looked to the left side at his man Chester, came back down the middle of the field. He moved the safety out of the way, came back down the middle of the field, and throws a strike.
Reed Harradine in to attempt the extra point. So back-to-back completions of 39 and 30 yards. And Louisiana Tech scored on its first possession in 2 plays. This time, Southern Miss answers on 4 plays, covering 75 yards. The extra point is up, and it's good. So less than 3 minutes into the ball game. A couple of long but quick touchdown drives. And right now, Luke McCown, both defensive coordinators, kind of get their guys together and kind of figure things out.
Yeah, so much for being patient. Braylon Braxton said, I'm coming in throwing the ball down the field in this game. That was a very impressive drive, a couple of very nice throws. That's exactly how you want to throw the ball in the end zone to a big tight end. They want the ball where they can turn around, frame it with their eyes, catch it with their eyeballs on the ball, and pull it in with their strong hands.
We've seen both tight ends for both teams come up with big plays here early. Eli Finley caught a 72-yard pass that took it down to the 1-yard line for Louisiana Tech, and now it's Kyron Heath with the 30-yard touchdown reception for Southern Miss. Back deep for Louisiana Tech will be Devin Gandy, along with Amani Gibbons. Harradine into kickoff. Gandy will let it go over his head, and so Louisiana Tech will come out and take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
As we said in the opener, Blake Baker is going to have his work cut out for him throwing the ball down the field. Josh Moten is the highlight of their secondary. He was tied in all the FBS last year with 5 interceptions. He doesn't have any on the year so far, but he's got 22 tackles and 3 pass breakups. He's the one to look for in the secondary, or maybe not look for if you're Blake Baker.
O'Myrie Wiggins, the tailback for Louisiana Tech. Baker looks. He's got his tight end open again. This is Eli Finley once again with another chunk play, and he's finally drugged down inside the 30-yard line. And Luke, if you're Southern Miss, you got to wonder what's going on with the tight end. He has been wide open twice now.
Well, it appears that Coach Franklin has identified maybe over-aggressive linebackers. It's almost the exact same play as the first play of the game. And they talked about getting Eli Finley involved, and man, have they done that.
42 yards on that completion. Finley already with over 100 yards receiving, and whistles blow, and Southern Miss called a timeout right before Louisiana Tech snapped that football. So Eli Finley with 2 catches for 120 yards.
He's a guy they said in the offseason really worked on his speed, really worked on his endurance. He's one of the best blocking tight ends, per Coach Franklin, in all of college football. Coach Cumbie thinks that he's a Sunday-type player as he improves his speed and route running.
It actually was a 47-yard hookup after the 72-yard hookup between Baker and Finley. So a quick timeout by Southern Miss. Louisiana Tech has run 3 plays for 121 total yards so far, most of that coming through the air. Miss allows 261 yards a game through the air. Louisiana Tech almost halfway there. Wiggins takes the handoff. He'll get around the edge, and he goes out of bounds over the Louisiana Tech sideline.
Yeah, just a stretch play, trying to get their defensive line running laterally early in the game. Get them winded a little bit.
Bulldogs trying to go up-tempo here. 3 receivers stacked on the far side. Wiggins will take the handoff again, and he almost broke through. He was tripped up that time by Chris Jones, the sophomore linebacker out of Byram, Mississippi. It'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
A lot of man coverage from this secondary.
Hands it off to Wiggins again, and he will be close. I think he'll be just short. And it'll bring up a 4th and probably about a yard, maybe 2 feet. Louisiana Tech with some personnel changes here. Bulldogs look like they're going to go for it.
Looks like they're going to go for it. I wouldn't be shocked if they use a hard count. I talk about it all the time. It's got to be a weapon in your offense. You got to be able to use multiple snap counts, find out what the defense is doing. You got to let your snap count be something that gets you free 5 yards. Let's see if they actually run the play. They do.
They're going to hand it off. That's Tevin, and he'll pick up the 1st down, still going inside the 15. Clay Tevin, sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, transfer from Navarro Junior College. Louisiana Tech continues with the up-tempo. Bulldogs right back to the line of scrimmage. Tevin off the left side, and that's a nice ankle tackle out there.
You just feel like Coach Franklin's setting something up. All these runs in the high red zone. See what they dial up.
Ian Foster on the stop that time. 2nd down. We'll call it 8.
Comes pressure. Man coverage in the red zone.
Hands it off. Tevin goes nowhere this time. As he gets to the 10-yard line, he'll bring up a 3rd down. Chris Jones on the tackle. So Louisiana Tech with its second 3rd down. They picked up the 1st down on 3rd and a yard just a moment ago. Amani Gibbons, the tailback for Louisiana Tech. Baker's going to roll. Throws it into the flat. That's caught by Finley. He'll be well short of the 1st down. And Sonny Cumbie will have a decision here on 4th and about 4, and it looks like the Louisiana Tech field goal unit coming on.
Felt like Blake held on to that a little too long. There's a little pick play. It's 3rd and 8. You know you're getting man coverage down here in the low red zone. They tried to have a stack release with a little pick. Try to hit Eli Finley quicker in the flat, give him a chance to turn the ball up.
It'll be a 24-yard field goal attempt by sophomore Drew Henderson. All on the near hash mark. And he splits the upright, so Louisiana Tech puts more points on the board on their 2nd possession, although the Southern Miss defense forces the field goal attempt. 8:10 to play here, 1st quarter. Bulldogs on top, 10-7.
Quesadilla only place? Finally, someone gets me. grilled to order, packed with flavor. Because deep down, you didn't want a salad today anyway. No shame, just Dilla's. Primo on the go. Order now at dillas.com.
Welcome to Trenton Dental Center and Trenton Sleep Solutions. I'm Dr. Paige Valentine, the official dentist of Louisiana Tech Athletics. Come see what we have to offer.
It's bow time. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Carolina Legend can make your tailgate a winner. We're talking crispy chicken, made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your crew faster than you can say touchdown. Let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time. In 1977, Bo started frying chicken so full of real Southern flavor, folks are still talking. It's the bold seasoning, the crispy, and the juicy chicken that makes us the Carolina Legend. Legends last, but this $5.99 leg and thigh deal won't. It's bow time.
Our score. Take a look at our impact players. A couple of guys wearing the number 6 jersey. For Southern Miss, it'll be fifth-year senior Micah Davis out of Atlanta, transfer from Ole Miss, already 3 touchdown receptions this year. And for the Bulldogs, Jakari Foster, fifth-year senior out of Piedmont, Alabama, leads Louisiana Tech with 2 interceptions. Those are our impact players presented by B1 Bank. Banking uncomplicated. Plenty of offense here early, Luke McCown, something the former quarterbacks kind of like to see.
Absolutely. You kind of feel like it's a tale of 2 different offenses right now. Southern Miss throwing the ball down the field, which has not been what they've done the first 3 games as much, although highly efficient in the intermediate passing game. Louisiana Tech felt like that drive was more of a statement, hey, we're going to commit to run the football. After the big play to Eli Finley down the field, they come away with 3 points.
Jones goes in motion. There goes Braxton off that right side. He'll pick up a couple of yards. Here comes a flag in late from the white hat from behind the play.
6'2", 230. Braxton's a very capable runner, though he's not probably the most fleet of foot guy. He's already run 29 times this year for 105 yards. He's very capable of putting it on the ground and being effective as a running quarterback.
Be a face mask called against Southern Miss, a personal foul penalty. You mentioned taking some shots down the field. 6 completions so far, Luke, in this ball game between the 2 quarterbacks. 4 of the 6 over 30 yards, so they have been some chunk plays already in this ball game.
Yeah, I don't know if you're happy about that as a defensive coordinator. Obviously, that's not what you want, chunk plays.
First and long, they're going to hand it off. That is Matt Jones. He'll get out to about the 16-yard line, picks up 3 yards. It'll bring up a second down. We'll call it 19. That was Jaden Matkins on the stop. Junior out of Houston, Texas for Louisiana Tech. And off that right side, there's a nice opening. He gets out past the 25-yard line, close to the 30. It'll be about 6 yards short of the first down. That was Matt Jones that time, transfer from Ole Miss, 5th-year senior out of Jackson, Mississippi. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 6. Southern Miss with some tempo.
Going quick. Looking to the sideline. This has kind of been the deal for the last several years in college football. Get up to the line. use a dummy count, find out what the defense is doing, and then get the play call.
Snap clock inside of 5. Louisiana Tech bringing some pressure. They throw it on the quick slant, and it's complete. And is it a fumble? There comes a flag in. Louisiana Tech picks it up. It'll be Kobe Fields all the way back for the touchdown. The Southern Miss receiver is down at the 38-yard line. A flag came in after he had coughed it up. That is Tyshawn Chapman. So right now the concern about Chapman for Southern Miss. We're going to call targeting against Jakari Foster. We just spotlighted him as the impact player for Louisiana Tech, so we'll take another look here. Yep, that's going to be targeting. You hope Chapman is okay, as that was definitely crown of the helmet, helmet to helmet.
Yeah, you hate to see it. College football, NFL football, they're making an effort to take the head out of the game, limit concussions. It's a very real thing. Glad to see him up and moving, walking off the field under his own power. But also, if you're a defensive back, I hear their concerns as well. It's a really difficult thing to try to legislate out of the game. Those guys have done a really good job, I believe, adjusting to the new rules about targeting, about hitting, about helmet-to-helmet contact. But that was a bang-bang play.
Now the White Hat is taking a look at it.
Yeah, Michael Richard's making a play on the ball, trying to strip it, and it actually spins the receiver right into the hit.
Our referee is Ted Pitts. He's the one down looking at it. Terry Walters and Lewis Hilliard are our replay officials and communicator. We got an opportunity to visit with them about 30 minutes prior to kickoff, and so right now it's a fumble and a return for a touchdown for Louisiana Tech. It would be the third defensive touchdown for the Bulldogs in 4 games.
Yeah, they want to make sure they get this right. They're not trying to penalize the player, understanding that targeting calls, personal fouls are big calls in a game, big calls for the player. Obviously, the second personal foul like this is an ejection.
Well, a targeting will be an automatic. If it remains targeting, he'll be ejected for the ball game.
So they're doing their due diligence. They're gonna be on the side of the player and try to hopefully not make it a targeting call.
Yep. Again, Tyshawn Chapman, the redshirt junior out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, transfer from Marshall. He got up and walked off. He had some Southern Miss medical staff surrounding him. We hope that he's okay, but it was definitely a vicious hit there. Again, like you said, he got spun around. I don't know that Foster was intentionally, obviously, trying to target, but those guys are moving so fast out there at times. I think a lot of times these targeting calls are because of just the speed of the ball game and not necessarily I'm trying to go in there and lead with my helmet. But they're taking an awful long time. They're taking their time on this replay.
Yeah, it's a very nebulous thing, and I don't pretend to be the best athlete in the world. Some of those guys are, and they're trying to adjust to body positions and changes of angles in literal blinks of an eye. And so the target, if you will, of a hit changes rapidly, especially when it involves the turning or the spinning of a player because you're reaching for a ball or trying to strip it.
So the targeting call does remain, which will give Southern Miss the football and a first down. And Kari Foster is done for the ball game. Ball will be spotted at the Louisiana Tech 48-yard line. So Golden Eagles first and 10 inside Louisiana Tech's side of the 50. Braxton 4 of 6 so far, 43 yards. He steps back, he throws it into the flat, and Louisiana Tech does a nice job to come up and make the tackle that time. That's Michael Richard. That's Micah Davis.
That's the growth and patience that Coach Huff talked about wanting to see from his star quarterback. Looking for a deep shot down the field, checking it down when nothing is there.
Hands it off. Nothing but red jerseys right there. They corralled Matt Jones in the backfield. That's Makai Mason once again. Mason off to a great start for Louisiana Tech this season. Had double digits in tackles down in Baton Rouge in that loss to LSU. It'll be a 3rd down and 9. 10-7 Louisiana Tech leads. We've played almost 10 minutes here in this first quarter. And the throw up the field, incomplete. We're going to have a penalty against Louisiana Tech. It's going to be Jamal Shelby around the 40-yard line. Is going to get called for a hold, and so that'll be a first down for the Golden Eagles. Tech brought pressure that time, got to the quarterback. He was forced to throw it early and high, but unfortunately, another penalty on this Louisiana Tech defense, and that'll give Southern Miss the first down.
We talked a lot about this with Coach Cumbie. Penalties have been a killer for this Bulldog team this season. He talked about getting in bad body positions, bad spots athletically.
Hand it off. That's Briggs. And Briggs will pick up a first down. A nice run off the left side. Bring up a 1st and 10 and the 27. Now Southern Miss with some tempo. Hands it off to Briggs again. He tries to get off the right side. And Louisiana Tech in pursuit that time. A couple of yards, maybe a yard on the pickup. That'll be Chief Leota on the stop. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Chief Leota coming up from his linebacker position, making an impact play quickly.
Braxton into the flat. Briggs down to the 20-yard line. Right now, Braylon Braxton just kind of taking what the Louisiana Tech defense is giving him.
Yeah, really good job working both sides of the field, a full field progression. They started from the left. We call that Hank, or a type of Hank in an offense. You send the tight end on an OTB over the ball, and with some combination of curl flat on either side of the formation.
Empty backfield. Don't be surprised if Braylon Braxton takes off, and a timeout is going to be called here. So a timeout. Not sure who called the timeout. So maybe timeout wasn't called.
Well, that was interesting. Looks like all-out pressure from the Bulldog defense. Here it comes.
Braxton rolls near side. Ball pops up in the air. Is this a fumble? It's picked up by Louisiana Tech. No whistles so far. And here goes the Bulldogs down the right sideline. That is Sam Fongang. And it is being called a touchdown for this time.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to be for the time being. I believe he was throwing that ball the whole way. I didn't see it come out of his hand going back. They'll take a look at the replay.
I believe it was Chief Leota that made the hit on the quarterback that time. We'll take a look one more time. Yeah, I think you're right. That's going to be an incomplete pass. It had left his hands. So the Bulldogs have had 2 defensive touchdowns that are going to be overturned here on this one Southern Miss possession.
Fantastic use of an all-out pressure by defensive coordinator Luke Olson. Right on the fringe of the red zone, you're going to try and pressure them, force them into a quick pass or a sack or a bad decision. Try and push the field goal opportunity back. It's a great job by Luke Olson.
I think you'll see right here, it's forward and yep, he doesn't knock it out of his hand. I do believe that the arm's going forward and he just lets go of it. It's batted. And, you know, give the striped shirts credit. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. They let the play out. They did not blow the whistle, which would have killed it right there. Now they can go back and they can watch instant replay.
Right, their job is to let it play out. You can always go back and fix it now with replay. Great job by guys in the striped shirts. Defensive coordinator Luke Olson spent time with Braylon Braxton. He was with him at Tulsa for a little while before Coach Olson made his way to Jackson State and then over to Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, Braylon Braxton started his career at Tulsa, then transferred to Marshall. It didn't take long this time. So it will be overturned. It is an incomplete pass, and so it'll bring up a 4th down and again 2.5 yards, and we'll see what head coach Charles Huff decides to do, whether he tries to kick the field goal here with Reed Paradine or whether he puts his offense back out there.
Paradine's coming out.
Paradine is 3 of 5 on the season, along of 43 yards. That came in the season opener against Mississippi State. Ball will be on the far hash mark. It'll be a 38-yard field goal for Paradine.
Louisiana Tech playing it safe.
Kick is up. And Paradine ties this ball game at 10, capping that drive for Southern Miss. So we got a good one here in Ruston. 3:29 to play first quarter. Bulldogs 10, Golden Eagles 10. 3:29 to play first quarter. That 38-yard field goal by Herodine capped a 10-play, 55-yard drive. 25 yards of penalties on the Bulldogs that time. Back for Louisiana Tech will be Gibbons and Gandy. And this one will go out of bounds around the 4-yard line. It'll be a penalty. Louisiana Tech will have better starting field position here on their third drive. And if you're Southern Miss, the first thing you want to fix defensively is you got to find Eli Finley. The Tech tight end, 3 catches for 124 yards so far.
Yeah, you feel like both coordinators have come out swinging, throwing to their tight ends down the field. And then the defensive coordinator decided, hey, we're going to start shutting things down, mixing coverage, applying a little more pressure. We're settling into a very nice ball game here.
Tech starts at his own 35. Southern Miss bringing pressure. There's Finley again. He gets away from his defender and will cross midfield. Another nice play through the air from Blake Baker to Eli Finley.
Very similar concept. Very similar concept to what they've started the game with Finley, only with a receiver, and Finley was coming out of the backfield up the seam.
Baker's going to keep it this time off the left side. There we see his running abilities. He spins off the tackle, falls forward. I think he will be just short of the first down.
This was something that was to every coach's surprise on the Bulldog sideline last week. 116 yards on the ground by Blake Baker. It's not what anybody expected out of the young redshirt sophomore.
Baker keeps it again. Straight up the middle. He'll pick up the first down. Last week we saw Blake Baker and Trey Kukuck. Kukuck, the starter the first 2 games for Louisiana Tech. We're not sure whether we will see Kukuck in this ball game. The company was not sure due to health issues. Baker's going to take a shot. He's got Gandy, and he almost made an acrobatic play. Devin Gandy. It'll bring up a second down.
Again, you're targeting one of the better corners in the country in Josh Moten.
First incomplete pass for Blake Baker. Of course, he's 4 for 4 when he throws it to Eli Finley. Second down and 10. Wiggins goes in motion. Baker's going to run off the right side, and there's about 3 or 4 penalty flags that come in as he was brought down for a loss, but that'll be a personal foul, a face mask on Southern Miss. It'll be Jaden McKinney called for the penalty. Played that position. Sure, you've had your head turned around a few times with the face mask.
You're not allowed to grab him by the face mask and tackle him, Malcolm. That's a penalty, especially on the quarterbacks.
Worst face mask that you ever had on you? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I don't. There's probably a reason why I don't remember it.
Too many concussions too, huh? A couple of tailbacks in for Louisiana Tech, both Wiggins and Gibbons. First down and 10 on the 20. There'll be an extra player on the field. No flag. Yeah, there's the late flag. Tech's going to take a shot. It'll be incomplete to Gandy, but Southern Miss had 12 players on the field. In fact, there's 2 flags, one on the 5 on the Southern Miss side and one on the 8-yard line here on the Louisiana Tech side.
They're going to get Moten defensive pass interference or holding.
The 12 men on the field, so I don't know if
maybe he was just throwing it from the back.
Yeah, I don't know if both.
Moten had a hold of Gandy. They were running a little shake route. Moten had a hold of him.
First and 10 in the red zone. Hands it off to Wiggins off the left side. Pick up, well, he's still going forward, and Wiggins picks up 9 yards when he looked like there was only about 2 or 3 yards there. Give a lot of credit to Wiggins, but also his offensive line.
Offensive line will help you a lot. If you'll just keep your feet moving, the offensive line will come to help and push the pile.
2nd down and 1 at the Golden Eagles 6-yard line. And Wiggins gets tripped up in the backfield. Nice play that time. That's J.J. Hawkins, redshirt junior, another one of those Marshall transfers we mentioned. 21 of them came from that Marshall team that won 10 ball games last year and won the Sun Belt Conference title.
It says a lot about who Coach Huff is. The guys wanted to follow him down to Hattiesburg and play for him.
Flags fly. They actually gave Tech had a 1st down because it was 1st and 5 on that Wiggins 9-yard run. So on the last play, that was 1st and goal on the loss. And now the flag against Southern Miss will make it half the distance. Bulldogs will have it 2nd down and goal. I got behind the chains that time.
Love using snap count, especially when you have edge rushers with speed like this Golden Eagle defense does.
Baker hands it to Wiggins. Wiggins cuts to the left side, Bulls forward, and touchdown Louisiana Tech. Amiri Wiggins on a 3-yard touchdown run, and for the 2nd time inside the red zone, Wiggins got quite some help from his offensive line.
The 2nd time, the offensive line picked him up and moved him about 3 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. The big guys like to score too. So when they can pick you up and carry you for 2 or 3 yards, they feel like they've done their job.
Looked like a rugby scrum. Drew Henderson will come in. He'll attempt the extra point. Cumbie not real happy on the Louisiana Tech sideline. He is unhappy about something. And he is giving the striped shirt an earful. Not sure exactly what that was about, but Henderson in.
Appeared to have to do with substitution.
Snap is good, kick is up, and it's good. So with 46 seconds to play here in the 1st quarter, Louisiana Tech regains the lead 17-10. We saw the Bulldogs score 49 points last week against New Mexico State. Defense really helped them there in the 2nd half, forcing 3 turnovers, including one they returned for a touchdown on their own. But the 1st half last week against the Aggies, Louisiana Tech's offense over 400 yards. They became the first Conference USA team since at least 2012 to have 400 yards of offense in a half. And so
it was a combination.
I think Tony Franklin's starting to figure things out.
Absolutely, a combination of the RPO, a combination of the run game, and big chunk plays, right? You have to have chunk plays in an offense. If you want to be the type of offense that ends the game with over 400 yards, you're going to have chunk plays. It can't be dink and dunk. We've seen that. They've schematically drawn up some things to get Eli Finley and some others wide open early in this game. 2nd quarter was the explosion last week. Let's see if they do it again here in about 46 seconds.
John Hoyt Chance, redshirt freshman from Shreveport, with that strong left leg. And that'll be another touchback. That's something that the Bulldog special teams unit hasn't had to really worry about this year, and that's covering kickoffs. So with 46 seconds to play here in the opening quarter, Louisiana Tech on top 17-10, and now it's Braylon Braxton, the Golden Eagles offense's turn.
I love seeing this Bulldog offense. When they get down inside the 5-yard line, they commit to running the football. It's a statement. You know we're going to run. We know you know we're going to run, and yet we still run it.
Hands it off to Briggs. He cuts back. Nice run that time by Briggs. He'll pick up a first down to the 37-yard line. Look, that was an area last year Louisiana Tech really struggled in, was being able to run the football inside the 10-yard line, and it's one reason the Bulldogs struggle to score touchdowns in the red zone.
Well, it's all about mentality. It's a mentality from the running back. It's a mentality from your offensive lineman. Do they have the grit, the toughness, the will to have a lower pad level, come off the ball, and move the line of scrimmage?
Under pressure, and he'll go down in the backfield. Braylon Braxton takes his first sack. Kobe Fields back there with a host of Bulldogs. And that'll be the last play of this opening quarter. So the Louisiana Tech defense, in a quarter that was filled with offense, comes up with a big play on first down with the sack. We'll be right back to Joy Stadium. Dogs on top 17-10. Start the second quarter. Let's take a look at the Conference USA standings, driven by Ryan Honda. Louisiana Tech, along with Western Kentucky, both 1-0 in conference play. The Bulldogs beat New Mexico State last week. They'll head out to El Paso next weekend to jump right back into CUSA action. Second down and 15. They're going to delayed handoff. That is Matt Jones, and it'll bring up a third down and long.
Third down and really long, understanding that in second and long, the Bulldog defense is going to be in maximum zone coverage. They run a draw, see what they can get.
Southern Miss There's Braxton gets away. He's going to have some room, and he's going to be able to take off, and there you see what he's able to do with his legs. And what a great play by the Southern Miss quarterback that time, as Louisiana Tech, Makai Mason had him dead to right in the backfield.
It's what happens when you send 5-man pressure playing man coverage behind it. There's nobody to account for the quarterback. If he's able to break out, he's going to have a lot of room to run.
15 yards on the scramble. And it's intercepted. Louisiana Tech, that'll be Kobe Fields with the interception, the pick six, and for the third time in 4 games, the Bulldog defense strikes pay dirt with a return for a touchdown.
Kobe Fields read that like a book. Going back to the tunnel screen again, they've run it about 3 times in this game already. They like to run it to a 2-man side. Kobe Fields, that probably goes back to film study during the week, understanding your opponent, understanding what they like on first down, understanding what they like out of certain formations, reading it the whole way, and jumping the throw. Great job by Kobe Fields.
Anderson in for the extra point. And it's no good. He pushed it right. He hit an upright on the first one of the ball game that bounced through. Here's a look at that interception. What a great play by Fields. You see, he saw the receiver starting to cut in. He stepped right in front of it. Kobe Fields, the LSU transfer, 5 tackles, a half of a sack, and an interception for a touchdown already. He's given the Bulldogs a 23-10 lead here at Joe IA. Fields with a 48-yard interception return for a touchdown. Louisiana Tech leads 23-10. Luke McCown, we talked to Luke Olson, the defensive coordinator for Louisiana Tech, about this being Southern Miss's first road game of the year. They played the first 3, and he said the key was making the quarterback uncomfortable. A sack a few plays earlier, and then again, Kobe Fields read that play all the way. I would think right now Braylon Braxton feeling a little bit uncomfortable.
It's a credit to Luke Olson and what he's doing. It's a credit to Kobe Fields and his film study, his preparation coming into this game, understanding what this offense likes to do. There's a reason why Braylon Braxton's been an efficient quarterback. They put him in good situations. They repeat plays, as they've done here early in this game, over and over again. They go back to the well with the tunnel screen. Kobe Fields was ready for it for about the 3rd time. He even looked out at the snap. He looked out, saw the tunnel screen coming, jumped in front of the pass. Great job by that young man.
Braxton looks. He's got time. Now he's going to start to scramble. And will be chased out of bounds. Now, the good thing for Southern Miss is Braylon Braxton's a fifth-year senior. He's been through a lot of wars. Sun Belt Conference Newcomer of the Year last year at Marshall. So this is not his first rodeo, and one mistake is not going to impact him the rest of the game. If you're Louisiana Tech, you have to continue to try to put pressure on it.
And he's the conference's preseason Offensive Player of the Year pick as well. So that's not going to faze him. He's going to make plays in this game. If you're Louisiana Tech, you can't get too high. Continue to do your job.
Yeah, they tried a little quarterback draw that time, got back to the line of scrimmage. Bulldogs were ready for that. It'll bring up a 3rd and long. Talking to Coach Huff this week, I asked him about the run plays for Braxton. He's carried it 29 times through 3 games. They don't draw up a lot of just straight quarterback runs. It's more him scrambling, which we've seen him do so far. That time, that was a design draw. Throws it, and it's complete. His receiver, and he hurdles the defenders. What a play. That's the tight end, Kyron Heath, that time. Heath didn't even see the ball coming. Didn't look like he was looking for it till last minute. Turned his head, and Braylon Braxton put it right in this breadbasket.
It's a mesh play that you see every offense from high school to the NFL run, especially when you're getting man coverage. Braylon Braxton got that ball out early, anticipated the throw, put it right on the money.
Hands it off. Crease off of this right side. A good piece of running that time by Matt Jones. Emmanuel Hogan's on the tackle for Louisiana Tech. He's slow to get up now, and he's grabbing the back of his knee. So Hogan's down after making the play that time, and so Louisiana Tech trainers out to see about him. We'll have a media timeout on the field, so we'll take a commercial break. 12-12 to play second quarter. Louisiana Tech on top, 23-10.
A bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbor, your partner, your friend. Locally owned and family operating, we proudly invest in our neighbors, our schools, and our future. Louisiana National Bank, rooted in tradition, growing with you. Louisiana National Bank, uncommon banking. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, look, we gotta go to Leslie's weight game. Bye. Baby, you look so tired.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired.
Why don't you go lay down on my Scandinavian and take a nap? I promise you're gonna feel and look 25 years younger.
We gotta go.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, wow. 25 years gone.
Yeah, that's the baby.
Yeah, that's sleep.
Great. She wants one too.
Nice.
American Mattress Outlet.
Where you don't have to go back in time
to get a great night's sleep.
Southern States Equipment is proud to be the official equipment rental company of Louisiana Tech Athletics. With multiple locations across the region, we deliver the right equipment where you need it and great service when you need it.
Southern States Equipment. Customer focused, service driven. Go Dogs.
Around here, Bulldog pride runs deep. Every snap, every pass, every test. When injuries happen, or late night symptoms hit, just a short drive from Ruston, Reeves Memorial Medical Center is ready. From the sidelines to recovery, we are on your team. Reeves Memorial Medical Center.
An action-packed game here. Bulldogs on top 23-10. And the energy is palpable on the Louisiana Tech sideline. It's buzzing with energy, but really focused energy, which is exactly what this staff was looking for. Luke Olson constantly coaching up his defense. Every time Southern Miss scores, he said, if we do our job, we will eliminate those plays. Do your job and trust the guy next to you to do theirs.
Thanks, Madison. Speaking of doing your job, Makai Mason right there for Louisiana Tech. Chases down Briggs. That'll be a loss of about 5 yards, and they'll bring down a 3rd and 9. That's the 5th tackle of the ball game for Makai Mason. He's going to take a shot down the sideline, and it is complete, but he was not able to get a foot down.
They're going to review that one.
That's
what a
Micah
beautiful
Davis.
throw. What a beautiful throw. He may have gotten a foot down. I believe they'll take a look at that. Wow.
Now the Southern Miss punting unit comes on. In college football, supposedly, Luke, they're looking at every single play,
Right.
even when it's not challenged. So if they've got a good angle of it, now a timeout is going to be called by Charles Huff. And so I think he believes his receiver, Davis, got a foot down. We've not seen a replay yet. We'll see if we have a good angle at it. I'm unable to tell from that angle. But a big play right here. It'll be 4th down. Southern Miss will be punting it back to Louisiana Tech, who already leads by 13 or. Southern Miss will have another chunk play through the air, and they'll be inside the Louisiana Tech 20-yard line with an opportunity to cut this to a one-score game.
Going back to what Madison said about the energy, there's not really anything that ignites a team, especially a defense, quite like a defensive touchdown does. That can change the scope in the course of a game quickly. I don't know what the percentage is in college football. In the NFL, when you have a defensive score in a game, your chances of winning shoot up by like 90 or 95%.
There's another look at it. I don't think he got that foot in on that
Left foot
angle.
might just be a little out.
Our referee still looking at it. He's been busy tonight, has Ted Pitts. This is what at least the 3rd review we've had in this first half. So right now it is 4th and 9 at the 49-yard line for Southern Miss. The call was incomplete on the field. What have you liked with what you've seen from Braylon Braxton so far, Luke?
I really like how he throws the ball. He's efficient, accurate, both in his motion, but also in his pocket movement. He's not a scrambler. He's not going to run around. We talked about it earlier. He's not somebody that just wows you with necessary athletic ability, and yet he does exactly what he needs to do. We saw him just a second ago break loose for a 13 or so yard gain on a big-time 3rd down. So he has the ability to get out and beat you with his legs as well, but he takes it when he needs it. He's a pocket passer. He's very pure, as we've seen so far, throwing the ball down the field.
Well, our white hat. So it will remain an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down. So,
You know, I always root for quarterbacks and receivers to complete passes. You know that, Malcolm? So
that does not surprise me, Luke McGowan. Reed Harradine back into punt for Southern Miss. Back deep for Louisiana Tech is Cedric Latulis. Ball is away. Latulis makes the catch and is going to try to get to the outside. He gets some nice blocks out there. Gets around the corner. Cuts it back inside, back out to the 25 and close to the 30. So Cedric Latulis caught that in traffic and made a couple of Golden Eagles miss. Nice return, and Louisiana Tech will have it 1st and 10, almost at the 30-yard line.
I'm not sure there. Coach Cumbie talked about having 2 returners back because of their Aussie-style punt. It looked like they had a reverse return set up as well. I'm not sure if it didn't just time up well or if Latulis just thought, I'll take this myself.
Andrew Burnett in a tailback, little pistol formation for Louisiana Tech, and Blake Baker keeps it off this left side, and he'll pick up a 1st down out past the 40-yard line.
Very good job on a zone read by Blake Baker. Watching the end crash, takes the back, he pulls it. Get what you can, get down. Protect the top of your head and your right shoulder.
Gain of 16 yards on 1st down. Hands it off to Burnett this time, and He'll pick up a couple of yards. Looked like if he had cut it back inside that time, he might have had a lane.
I agree.
Burnett kept it to the outside and picks up 3. It's Chris Jones on the tackle.
Burnett would probably be classified as your change of pace back. He's the guy that's going to do a little bit more of the heavy lifting in the short yardage areas, but I agree. If he hit the hole and cut back left, there was some room there.
Hands it off to Tebben, and he tries to cut it back inside. Not a whole lot of room there. He'll pick up a yard. It'll bring up a 3rd down for Louisiana Tech. Bulldogs 0 for 2 on 3rd down, which kind of surprising when you look at the scoreboard. You got 23 points, and you're 20 minutes into the ball game.
Yeah, there's
not yet converted a 3rd down.
Not been very many 3rd downs in the game so far for Louisiana Tech, which when you're converting on 1st and 2nd down, that's actually a good thing.
Baker over the middle and knocked away. Good job defensively that time by Josh Moten.
That's the all-conference player, Josh Moten. He had 5 interceptions last year. One thing that Coach Huff talked about was he doesn't like pass breakups, Malcolm. I found that really interesting and yet very telling. A pass breakup, he said, just means another opportunity for the offense to run another play. If you can get your hands on the ball, we want you to intercept it. He makes his guys, if they get a pass breakup in practice, do 10 push-ups. He wants the ball intercepted.
The punt is away for Louisiana Tech. Fair catch called for by Metcalf. He'll make it inside the 10-yard line. John Hoyt Chance, who's been really good at pinning teams inside the 20, does it once again. We'll take another commercial break. 23-10 Dogs lead. 9:36 to play here, 2nd quarter. Bulldogs still lead 23-10 in Joe IA Stadium, and Sonny Cumbie is 8-0 in his career when the defense scores. That certainly bodes well for tonight, guys, but Sonny couldn't be happier with how this whole defense is as a unit, especially the D-line, which is where he had the most questions starting out this season, but really their strength is in their numbers. They have total humility, is what he told us earlier this week. They're able to rotate up to 9 guys, which gives them an ability to stay fresh, and they're really humble about when their time is up and when it's time for fresh legs to come in. St. Jones takes the handoff. He gets a nice gain on 1st down of 6 yards. That's Jaden Matkins on the tackle for Louisiana Tech. Braxton back. He's going to take another shot, and he's got a man wide open. around the 45-yard line. That is Carl Chester.
Caught the safety looking on that. Excuse me. Caught the safety looking on that one, Malcolm. Just a sail route by your inside receiver. We call it a sail route. It's a corner route with a post on the outside. If you get quarters, you love it.
Jones off the right side. He'll pick up a couple of yards. That was a 42-yard completion that time. 152 yards passing so far for Braxton. Only 8 completions. So, Luke, he's averaging almost 20 yards of completion against this Louisiana Tech defense.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, for a fifth-year senior quarterback, he's going to look at that tape. If they don't score on this, what a throw.
Another nice throw to his tight end down that Southern Miss sideline. That is complete to Caden Morris.
If they don't score on this drive, he'll look back at that throw and think, man, if I give him 2 more yards down the field, Chester was alone on that post. But that's a great throw on a wheel route to a tight end, just over the outstretched fingers of the defender, giving the tight end a ball that he can handle.
Braxton looking over to the Southern Miss sideline here. There's a pick of 18 yards on that last completion. He wants to scramble, and he will pick up about a yard on the scramble to the Louisiana Tech 25. Zion Nason there for the stop for Louisiana Tech.
That's the epitome of a coverage sack. He had plenty of time in the pocket. Lots of guys in the secondary. Not very many places to throw the ball. Great job of the D-line, not giving up on the rush.
Kobe Fields right there as well on that stop. Braxton taking his time. Goes it here to the near sideline. That is complete to Davis. He'll take it inside the 20-yard line.
A little bit of the gamesmanship. Louisiana Tech defense gives Braxton a look. He audibles at the line of scrimmage, and the defense audibles as well. We've come so far in football that now defense is audible to a second play. They back out into a max zone coverage and are able to rally and make the tackle on a tunnel screen.
Third down, Louisiana Tech bringing pressure, and he overthrows Davis. He had him on the crossing route. Chief Leota had pressure right in Braxton's face, and here comes the field goal unit for Southern Miss, and that's where pressure got Southern Miss off the field because he had his man wide open coming across.
Absolutely. 3rd down and 3, 3rd down and 4 at the red zone fringe area. We call the red zone fringe when it's just about the 20-yard line, maybe a little bit outside. Apply pressure, try and cause the quarterback to make a quick decision or make a quick throw or force him into a bad decision.
37-yard field goal is up, and it's no good.
Great job by the defense.
So Reed Harradine misfires from 37 yards, and Louisiana Tech still leading by 13, and the Bulldogs will take over.
Luke Olson's got to be extremely proud of this defensive group. This is a Southern Miss offense that has scored more than 30 points in all 3 games this year. Now, they were at home. We talked about that. They were at home for 3 straight games. This is their first road test, but they're doing a great job of making Braxton uncomfortable with pressures, with coverage mix-ups, with defensive audibles. They're doing an excellent job tonight.
Wiggins takes the handoff. He cuts it to the near side, makes a man miss, and will pick up a nice gain when it looked like there was nothing there on 1st down. These 2 quarterbacks, talk about airing it out. Braxton averaging 17.6 yards of completion. Baker averaging over 35 yards of completion. That's complete to Singleton. That's going to hurt that average a little bit, but it'll come close to picking up. In fact, I think it will pick up a 1st down. Anthony Richard on the stop.
Excellent. Take what they give you. Get the ball to your hand quick. Move the chains.
He's going Tech would love to go on a nice extended drive right here with this 13-point lead. Makes the handoff. Baker now throws it inside to his tight end Findley, and he will bowl his way forward and pick up about 7 yards. That's his 5th catch for 149 yards, and Blake Baker got rid of that one at the last minute.
Trying to hide Findley on the backside of a formation. We call him a nub tight end. When he's on the outside of the formation by himself with his hand in the dirt, we call him a nub tight end. A screen to the backside allows you to hide him a little bit and get him the ball. 8-yard pickup, 6-yard pickup.
Throws it out to Wiggins. Wiggins turns it back up the field. He gets spun around, and he'll be short of the first down by about a yard. Nice job by the Southern Miss defenders out there. Fought off some blocks. It looked like Wiggins was going to get that first down easily.
Yeah, they had it set up. This defense is fast, and they finish at the ball. You're seeing defensive linemen enter the picture, defensive ends running to the ball.
So it'll be 3rd and a yard. Tevin in the tailback. Baker, he's going to take a shot over the top to Gandy. And Gandy, what a spectacular catch. He was being held onto by Josh Moten, and Gandy went high into the air and pulled that one out.
Yeah, a little hand fighting by both receiver and defensive back. Gandy comes out on top on that one, but a great job by Blake Baker giving his receiver a chance to play the ball in the air. Gandy showing excellent ball skills.
26 yards on the completion, 1st and 10 at the Southern Miss 35-yard line. Tevin takes the handoff off the right side, and he'll pick up 1 yard on first down. But on 3rd and 1, Tony Franklin takes a shot. Makes you wonder if Sonny Cumbie had said, hey, I'm going to give you 4 downs right here. Take your shot.
Yeah, and at the very least, if you don't get it, you're going to count down the clock, maybe take the delay. You've got a good punter. 3-5, free play.
Free play here. That pass is high, intended for Gandy, but Louisiana Tech, Blake Baker knew he had a free play.
Yeah, and this is part of the maturation process. On free plays, we don't care if the defense intercepts it. Our job is to keep the ball in play and give the receiver a chance to come down with it. That's gonna be a great coaching moment for Blake Baker in the film room, understanding I don't care about the secondary. I've got a free play. Give him a chance to catch the ball. We're going to get a 5 either way.
The 25-yard completion to Gandy on 3rd and 1 was the first 3rd down conversion for Louisiana Tech in this ball game. It'll be 2nd and 4 here. They're going to swing it out near side to Wiggins. Wiggins makes a man miss, and he'll pick up the first down to the 25-yard line. Bulldogs driving, 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Keeping the ball in play, not very many incompletions, keeping the clock running. This is how you play with a lead without just hunkering down and running the football.
Louisiana Tech fine with using some time right here. They would love to just keep this for the rest of the second quarter, find a way to put some more points on the board. Hands it off again. Wiggins pick up 2 yards. Louisiana Tech does not have to snap it again before the 2-minute
and I don't believe they will. They should take this all the way down to the 2-minute. We've talked about it for a couple of weeks now, Malcolm. This twofer, when you defer and you get the ball at the end of the half, as Louisiana Tech does now, your job is to keep the ball, score, field goal or touchdown. Obviously, touchdown is what you want, but score because you get the ball coming out of the half with an opportunity to do the same thing again.
Well, that'll take us to our 2-minute timeout. Louisiana Tech will have it 2nd down and 8 in Southern Miss territory, leading 23-10.
At St. Francis Health, we're focused on serving you with a dedication to excellence, innovation, clinical expertise, and respect for who you are as a person. As we turn our attention to the future, our commitment to Northeast Louisiana is at the center of how we move St. Francis forward. Our highly skilled team has one thing in mind: excellence in healthcare. It is our honor and our mission to serve you and this community. St. Francis, proud sponsor of the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs.
At Louisiana National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbor, your partner, your friend. Locally owned and family operated, we proudly invest in our neighbors, our schools, and our future. Louisiana National Bank, rooted in tradition, growing with you. Louisiana National Bank, uncommon banking. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Dogs, always digging beneath the surface in search of something. At Louisiana Tech, our Bulldogs dig too for a breakthrough that changes lives. Healing traumatic brain injury, making timber more profitable, securing our nation's most vital assets. Leading edge research driven by faculty, enhanced by students, maximizing human potential. Louisiana Tech University. How about them dogs?
Louisiana Tech 2nd down and 8. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Prior to this drive, the Bulldogs had the ball for only 1:43 of the second quarter, but on this drive, Tech has had it for 4 minutes. Baker under center here on 2nd down. I hand it to Wiggins, and Wiggins up the middle only picks up about a yard.
There's a balance between being conservative, conserving the 3 points that you feel like you have on the board right now, and continuing to take shots into the end zone because you want to make this game a 3-score game heading into halftime.
Yeah, that's Louisiana Tech getting the clock running after the 2 minutes. Southern Miss electing not to call a timeout right now, so the Bulldogs can take this down to about 1:15 when they snap it. If they choose to, Blake Baker 3rd down. And Tech was going to run a little razzle-dazzle, and Southern Miss calls a timeout right before Tech snaps it. That was going to be a little pitch to Devin Gandy, and he had the strong side of the field.
I think they're glad they took a timeout because that was about to be 7.
Tech averaging 8.5 yards per offensive play in this first half. Southern Miss averaging 7.3 themselves. Really, the big difference right now is the pick 6 by Kobe Fields for Louisiana Tech.
And it steals a possession from your offense, an opportunity to score. So it takes your average possession per this game down from 12 to maybe 11 or 10 to 9, obviously. And it accounts for points. That's why the percentages go up. If you can create turnovers and defensive scores, your chances of winning go way up in a football game.
So Tech in a totally different formation as you would expect here coming out of this timeout. It'll be 3rd, and we'll call it 7.
Expect pressure here, showing man coverage across the board.
Baker fakes the handoff. Over the middle, he's got his man inside the 10. That's a completion to Marcus Singleton Jr. and a nice throw by Blake Baker. Offensive line gave him a lot of time.
Great throw, great protection, excellent read. Actually felt like he had a corner route for a touchdown, but he's taking the throw right in front of him. That's a batted ball.
Now, what we saw last week, Louisiana Tech in a very similar situation. Inside the 5, had it 1st and goal. It was Trey Kuka quarterbacking at that particular moment. And an RPO, he threw an interception, and Tech did not get the points. If you're Louisiana Tech right here, again, you could run the ball, get the clock started, force Southern Miss to either use a timeout or you can run this clock down.
I'd look for them to keep it on the ground right here.
Baker's going to keep it, and he'll take a hit at about the 3-yard line. That's where he will go to the ground. Clock is running as Josh Moten on the tackle, and right now Southern Miss electing not to use their final timeout. So if you're the Bulldogs, you're also fine with letting this clock run. So 3rd down and goal. Bulldogs snap it. Back shoulder throw, and a flag is down, and we'll see what this is. This, I think, is going to be offsides on the Golden Eagles. That wasn't intended for Marcus Singleton. Nice defensive play by Moten over there, but it will be an offsides. And so Tech will have another play. Look like Ian Foster, the nickel, who jumped offside. So 3rd and goal for Louisiana Tech. Hands it off. That's going to be Tevin, and he'll bull his way forward for the touchdown. So Louisiana Tech, you couldn't have asked for a better drive to end the half as the Bulldogs methodically march down the field. Clay Tevin with the touchdown run from the 3-yard line, and Louisiana Tech now leads 29-10. 23 seconds to play here in this first half. It'll be Henderson in to attempt the extra point. He missed his last extra point. He pushed it. Point, the kick is up, and it is good. So the Bulldogs now lead by 20. That scoring drive for Louisiana Tech, 14 plays covering 80 yards, took 6 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. And Louisiana Tech has now scored on 4 of its 5 offensive possessions in this football game. And Louisiana Tech leads it 30-10. Count is making his way down on the field. Louisiana Tech recognizing members of their all-quarter century team at halftime tonight. A broadcast partner who was, of course, quite the player back in the early part of this quarter century. He made that team, so he's going to go down and be recognized along with some other Louisiana Tech greats who have played here over the last 25 years. John Hoyt Chance will kick off for Louisiana Tech. No chance of that being returned, and so Southern Miss will have the football, 1st and 10 of its own 25, with 23 seconds remaining to play. Here's a look at that last scoring drive. Blake Baker with the little underneath pass to Eli Finley. Then took the shot on 3rd and 1, 25 yards to Devin Gandy. Little swing pass to Wiggins, picked up a 1st down on that play. Another 3rd down pass completion to Singleton inside the 10-yard line, and then Devin and Cap set off with the touchdown run. Looks like Southern Miss is going to elect to kneel on it here as the Golden Eagles will let the last 20 seconds of the clock tick off. They'll head to the locker room, as will Louisiana Tech. We'll wait for Madison Kaufman, who's going to get an opportunity to catch up with Sonny Cumbie, who's got to be really pleased with the performance of his football team here in this first half. Tech on top by 20. Our halftime score is 30-10. We'll send it down to Madison.
All right, Coach, an absolutely action-packed first half. Are you getting the kind of offensive production you were hoping for?
Yeah, I think that was the longest first quarter that I think I've ever been a part of. I mean, it felt like the whole first half of that first quarter, and guys are doing a great job of making plays on offense, and it starts with their offensive line. I think they're really controlling the line of scrimmage. I think they're having problems with their tempo. I mean, they've had 12, 13 guys on the field. We've got to do that in the second half, though. That's what we're looking for.
You knew that containing Braylon was going to be a tall task, and you lost Jakari Foster, but are you pleased with how you've been able to do that?
Well, I think that the next guy's up, and that's what we've talked about really since the beginning, is when guys are down for whatever reason, the next guy has to step up and to play well, because I can go out there and play, but I want guys to go out there and play well. And defensively, we've done a good job keeping the quarterback off balance, but there's a lot of football left, and we've got to just keep our foot on the gas.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Madison. That's Louisiana Tech head coach Sonny Cumbie. Bulldogs lead 30-10. We'll send a commercial break. We'll be back at the half. Welcome back to Joe IA Stadium. Louisiana Tech leads here at the half 30-10. And Joe IA Stadium, why not interview Joe IA? This is the grandson of the Joe IA that this stadium is named after. And what a legend in Louisiana Tech history. 26 years as the Bulldogs head coach, 152 wins, the most in program history, 12 conference championships. As I read, he's in the College Football Hall of Fame, the Louisiana Tech Athletics Football Hall of Fame. Your grandfather is quite the legend in Louisiana Tech history.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Malcolm, you rattled off some statistics about Coach, and they're impressive. A couple more. He had 14 All-Americans, and of the 12 championships of the 26 years, that's almost one every 2 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of that reflects how he treated his players as human beings and was really concerned about their well-being, their education, and their home values. One of these interesting stories I like to tell about Coach is that in the 40s during the wartime, if a athlete had a scholarship but was called to duty, Coach kept that scholarship open. So when he came back, he knew that he had a place to play at the Tech. So we also talk about some of his statistics that are important, and that's the reason his name is on the stadium. But there's a lot of other things that Coach did outside the football. He was the founding or the initiative in getting the Catholic Church, first Catholic Church here in the parish, St. Thomas, women's dormitories on campus, and as well as women's sororities on campus. So very diverse, touching things. But the most important thing of all of this, Malcolm, is that this was done by a man that was at birth given to the state of New York, property of the state of New York. 4 years later, he's put on a baby train, which it's an interesting story. If your listeners could take a second and going online and reading that.
Sure.
He gets adopted in the Lafayette area, Youngsville, and history was from there. So an orphan to a name on the stadium is quite proud. The last thing I like to say real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
There's a picture of the statue in Concordia, Kansas,
Yeah.
of Joe Aye.
Yeah.
That was part of the Orphan Train statue series that was unveiled back in 2021.
Correct. And my brother Robert's in the blue and I'm in the red. Yeah, that's when the baby train was coming back from going out to California. Then it came all the way, it cut across this country to go back to New York, load up some more children, and make those. So it's a very interesting story. We're very proud of that. We're also proud, I know we're wrapping up on time here, Malcolm, but we're proud how Tech, Dr. Henderson and Les Geis kept Coach relevant among the students, the community, and the alumni. The alumni was very proud. The old guard, very proud of Coach. And those presidents realized, you got to keep him where he needs to be recognized and so on. So we do appreciate Dr. Henderson continuing the tradition of embracing Coach and recognizing what he's done. We got a statue of him coming up over here in the corner of the stadium.
Yep.
We have a fundraiser called the Eye Society that we've raised some money. So the Eye is excited about the university continue to recognize the value of Coach and embracing him. So it's a phenomenon, or not what am I looking for? A very united relationship. So we're excited.
Well, I'll interview you anytime. I ask one question,
I'm
man.
sorry.
You're able to talk. No, you're perfect. You took everything I wanted to say, but you're right.
Sorry.
When you talk to his players, I think that's the main thing, right? Before they talk about him as a coach, they talk about him how he impacted them as men, young men, and helped in their lives. So he had so many accomplishments on the field, but probably his biggest impact were on all these young men that he impacted off the field and helped grow into men later in life.
Absolutely.
It's great talking to you,
Malcolm.
Joe Aye. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for the invite.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate
Hopefully the Bulldogs can hold on to this lead
Go
at halftime.
Dogs, go Dogs. They're looking good.
That's Joe Aye. We'll be
All
back
right.
here at Joe Aye Stadium in just a few minutes.
All right.
Joe IA Stadium. A lot of happy Bulldog fans here at the half. Tech leading 30-10 over Southern Miss. There's a look at some first half stats brought to you by Skip Russell State Farm. Pretty even, really, across the board statistically. In fact, very even statistically, not on the scoreboard. That one turnover, really probably the biggest play of the first half, was a 48-yard interception return for a touchdown by Kobe Fields. And at the time, it took Louisiana Tech from leading 17-10 to 23-10. Bulldogs add a late touchdown with 23 seconds to play in the first half. They lead it 30-10. Louisiana Tech will get the football to start the second half. We'll be back with more of our halftime show. Bulldogs on top, 30-10. Now both teams back out, starting to warm up for the second half. Louisiana Tech leads at 30-10. Bulldogs will get the football to start the third quarter. We'll be back with second half action.
The Health Hut is able to serve the community and allow students from Louisiana Tech to come gain the experience of shadowing and giving back to the community.
As a student, the mentorship program has been such an invaluable resource to me. The transition between undergraduate and graduate school and the application process is so stressful. So having alumni give back to Louisiana Tech has been such an invaluable resource to me, and I definitely wouldn't be where I am without the program.
In 1977, Bo started frying chicken so full of real Southern flavor, folks are still talking. It's the bold seasoning, the crispy, and the juicy chicken that makes us the Carolina Legend. Legends last, but this $5.99 leg and thigh deal won't. It's Bo time. It's Bo time. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the Carolina Legend can make your tailgate a winner. We're talking crispy chicken, made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your crew faster than you could say touchdown. Let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Welcome back to Joe IA Stadium. Luke McCown. Bulldogs lead at 30-10. Now last week we saw Louisiana Tech with a 13-point lead at halftime. Bulldogs offense was really good in that first half, and then all of a sudden the third quarter, Tech could not move the ball at all last week. Now their defense saved them, hung in there, forced 3 turnovers. Louisiana Tech eventually scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to pull away, but Louisiana Tech offensively needs to come out and continue to do what it did in the first half.
Sonny Cumbie talked a lot about Blake Baker and the development and the maturing process. How to come out of halftime is a big deal. How do you hydrate? How do you mentally prepare for the ball in the second half? The adjustments that the defense may make, little things. You hear Peyton Manning on his Monday Night Football Manning cast all the time say the halftime adjustments is the biggest myth in all of football, and it is to an extent, but there are little adjustments. What to expect? Hey, they're down 20 going into the third quarter. They're going to try and heat you up. You got to expect some different looks on defense, some pressure, maybe some exotic pressures where they're emptying it out. They've got to create some turnovers that they have been accustomed to making here in the first 3 weeks of their season. So that'll be a big deal for Blake Baker coming out of this halftime.
Well, it's a big possession for Southern Miss's defense. Gandy's going to return this kickoff. He's got a hole out to the 30, and he's wrapped up quickly right there by Southern Miss. Louisiana Tech will start right there. But yeah, if Southern Miss wants to get back into this ball game, they can't afford to allow Louisiana Tech to march down the field and put another touchdown on the board.
Blake Baker's 10 or 14 for 200 yards on the dot. A lot of it going to the tight end. So you expect for them not to let Eli Finley get loose again. But yeah, I expect the coaches to help Blake Baker make some easy decisions, get the ball rolling.
Pass to Tevin, and Tevin gets a nice block, cuts out to the 40 and out close to midfield. And tell you what, Blake Baker was under pressure, had to get rid of that quickly, but he had his running back right there.
A quick slow screen, get Tevin on the edge. You see 55 out in front blocking for him. And that's a good job of helping your young quarterback get comfortable in the second half.
That was Landon Nelson, the Louisiana Tech center. Baker back again. He's going to throw it underneath. That's complete. That is Mickens, Jalen Mickens. He is going to pick up 4 yards on the completion.
Again, ball's coming out quick, easy decisions, RPO game. Ride and read. Get the ball out of your hand quickly. It doesn't have to be down the field. Very nicely done by Coach Franklin, helping his young quarterback. Easy, quick decisions. Get the ball rolling.
Baker keeps it this time, and he is corralled. He loses yardage that time.
Garrick Ponder.
Ponder with a nice play, and they saw Blake Baker have some success running it in the first half. And that may be one of the adjustments for Southern Miss to kind of put a spy on Baker. So it'll bring up a 3rd and long. Southern Miss with an opportunity here to get off the field.
Showing quarters coverage, probably not going to get pressure in this instance right here. Full zone.
Baker's going to run out this way. He throws it underneath, and Mickens had an opportunity that time and couldn't hold on to it. It would have brought about a 4th and about 2. I think at the 45, you might have seen Louisiana Tech go for it, but Mickens unable to hold on to it, and the Southern Miss defense does its job.
And that's a throw Blake Baker can make. We saw him extend plays last week several times. It's a funny arm angle. You got to drop your elbow down a little bit, but he can make that play. That may have been a conversion if he can get that ball up a foot.
It's a low line punt that'll roll and bounce out at around the 20-yard line, and that's where Southern Miss will take over 1st and 10. So the Louisiana Tech offense stalls out around midfield. And now Southern Miss, Braylon Braxton, after just a 26-yard punt, will bring the Golden Eagles out, actually marking it at the 25-yard line.
If you want to be considered one of the top defenses in the country, and they certainly do, and they're one of the top defenses in Conference USA, then this is the type of game you've got to take over. You've got to begin shutting down offenses when you're ahead by 20, making statements that you're not going to allow any points. They have to throw it down the field.
Complete out to the tight end Heath that time, and he goes nowhere as he is tackled by Joshua Cobbs almost immediately. Pickup of 2 yards on 1st down.
But be the type of defense that can close people out, even at the beginning of the half.
Braxton's going to take a shot down the field. He's got his man, and he drops it. Wow. That was Elijah Metcalf, transfer from Marshall, who had gotten behind the Louisiana Tech defensive back, and he didn't see the football until late.
It's a slot fade. He wins early at the line of scrimmage. Braxton puts the ball up. The receiver never found it, or found it really late.
And the Golden Eagles, you're trying to come back from a 20-point deficit. Those are the type of plays you've got to make. 3rd down and 9. And a timeout is going to be called by Charles Huff, so Southern Miss has to use one here early in this 3rd quarter. That may come back to haunt them if they can make this a ball game late. We're going to take a commercial break. We have 12:27 to play here, 3rd quarter. Bulldogs 30, Golden Eagles 10.
I invited Champ the Bulldog to explore everything we offer in CEHS. Following Champ's footsteps at CEHS, make a difference in every department.
In the Department of Aviation, we have 2 majors. We have professional aviation and we have aviation management. Our aviation program is pretty spectacular. It's the only 4-year aviation program in Louisiana. We are an ABI accredited safety university, so we have a very safe program here as well. In the Department of Aviation, we have a couple different ways of teaching. So we have ground classes, which are the classes you take on campus, and then we have the stuff at the airport. So you come out and meet with your instructor. You have ground classes with your instructor, so you'll sit down, they'll teach you. You have simulator lessons, which you'll go in the sim and do lessons there, and then you'll go up in the plane and have flight lessons as well. And those can consist of local flights just during maneuvers, or they can be cross countries, or kind of any other thing you need to do in the plane. There's lots of different ways that you can use the degree you get here. You can fly corporate, you can fly commercial, you can go to the military, you can do pretty much whatever you set your heart to. Your training is very individual, and if it's what you love, then put in the work and follow through with it.
Around here, Bulldog pride runs deep. Every snap, every pass, every test. When injuries happen, or late-night symptoms hit, just a short drive from Ruston, Reeves Memorial Medical Center is ready. From the sidelines to recovery, we are on your team. Reeves Memorial Medical Center, a proud supporter of Louisiana Tech Athletics.
Bulldogs still lead in the third quarter, 30-10, and I caught up with Southern Miss head coach Charles Huff just before halftime, and he said simply they're playing like the scoreboard said. They're undisciplined, they're making penalties, and they're not doing what they know how to do. But he is pleased with their offensive rhythm. He thinks they're moving the ball well. They've just got to execute on the plays and convert the field goals when they get the chance, guys.
Thank you, Madison, and this is what Charles Huff is talking about. Braxton under pressure is going to throw it underneath and just throws it away, and it'll bring up a 4th down. That was Chief Leota, who was chasing the 5th-year senior quarterback and forced the incompletion.
Excellent defense, excellent discipline by the defensive secondary, not coming off their responsibilities, not coming away from their zone drops just because he breaks out of the pocket.
And that's going to be a roughing the punter. Louisiana Tech is going to field it, but this is going to be 15 yards. And unfortunately, J.T. Jackson actually it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, yep. So it won't be an automatic first down, so a break for Louisiana Tech.
And I had just circled here on our halftime stat sheet 2 penalties for 22 yards. I was getting ready to make a point about how well they've done on limiting their penalty yardage this game, and we run into the kicker.
So it'll leave a 4th and 4. Southern Miss is going to elect to take the penalty, so let's see if they put their offense back out there. I would not think they would. 4th and 4 on their 31. No, it'll be the punting unit. They weren't happy with the punt that Reed Harradine got off, so they'll repunt. If you're Louisiana Tech, here your special teams unit, though, you got to watch for the fake. The ball is away. Coming towards the Tech sideline, and it'll be fielded by Latulis, who is knocked out of bounds. A little jawing over there between some Southern Miss players and Louisiana Tech. These two programs do not like each other, and that'll heat up even more when the Bulldogs join the Sun Belt Conference.
Yeah, Coach Olson said this week, in an attempt to liven his defense, his team, his players up even a little bit more, this is a statement to all the future opponents that are going to be Sun Belt Conference members, because they're all going to be watching this game.
Swing pass here to the near side. That's Gandy. He tries to make a couple of guys miss, loses a yard on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Lost about a yard on the play. 2nd down, 11.
That play's really tough versus man coverage. When you see the motion come across and you see the defender, the corner, number 23, run all the way across the formation, that's when you know it's man coverage.
And Louisiana Tech had a couple of offensive linemen that jumped that time. And so here, to start this third quarter, the Bulldogs offensively not clicking like we saw them in the first half, very similar to what we saw last week against New Mexico State.
Very similar. Very similar. Undisciplined, uncharacteristic of this game so far. Pre-snap penalties, movement penalties. Blake Baker needs to calm it all down with an efficient play right here.
Baker takes it, drops back. He's under pressure, and he's going to go down. So a good play defensively. That was Chris Jones, one of the Golden Eagles back there, and the Bulldogs going the wrong direction on this offensive drive.
Chris Jones leads this defense in tackles. He's got 31 on the year, and for a reason. Again, he stayed home. Even though Baker began to move in the pocket, he stayed home, and once he was wrapped up, saw his opportunity and finished off Baker for the tackle.
So 3rd and 20 for Louisiana Tech. Bulldogs back on their own 25-yard line. Baker's just going to hand it off this left side. That'll be Wiggins picking up some yardage out past the 35 to the 37. Gain of 12, but well short of the first down, and the Bulldogs will send the punting unit back out. So Louisiana Tech unable to put a drive together for the second time here in this third quarter. Southern Miss's defense does its job. A sack, a false start penalty pushed Louisiana Tech back. So the Golden Eagles defensively doing a much better job here in this third quarter. Punt is away. It'll hit and take a bounce, and it is loose on the field, and it'll go out of bounds on the Tech sideline. What a break for Southern Miss.
Yeah, he's going to get an earful when he gets back to the sideline. That ball bouncing with the defender that close, you let that ball go.
That was Elijah Metcalf. We're going to go to another commercial break. Southern Miss has the football, 10 minutes to play, 30-10 here in the third quarter. Louisiana Tech leads at the half. Members of the all-quarter century team for Louisiana Tech were recognized on the field. And our broadcast partner here, Luke McCown, one of those individuals. Enjoy going down and seeing some old teammates, Luke?
Absolutely. And John Simon reminded me that we are at the very beginning of that all-quarter century team. I got here in 2000. He got here the year before that. And so we're the old guys of that group. But it was fun seeing a lot of old faces and the guys that helped me be who I got to be here. And I certainly wouldn't have been a part of that all-century team without them.
Long pass completion of 23 yards to Chester, and that time a nice run by Briggs. And that quickly Southern Miss has the football in Louisiana Tech territory. And one thing that you didn't get to enjoy, that future, as that snap is bobbled, that'll be a loss of a yard. But future Louisiana Tech student athletes are going to get to enjoy is the new academic center. Let's sit it down to Madison Kaufman.
Luke, you said they've made a lot of improvements since you've been here, and they still are. As you can see, they're working on a Center for Student Athlete Success. It's an $11.5 million project, a combination of state funds, corporate and private donations, with an expected completion of August 2026. It'll be 2 stories high and 17,000 square feet. It will give the appearance that the video board is sitting just on top of that building. and will house Student Athlete Success Services. It'll simply be a place for student athletes to thrive as just that, student athletes.
Thank you, Madison. Third down here for Southern Miss. Probably 4-down territory for the Eagles. They're going to throw it underneath, and it is complete. That is Chester once again. By the way, that is the Origin Bank Center for Student Athlete Success. So Origin Bank, one of Louisiana Tech's big corporate sponsors, helping with that project. So a nice drive here by the Golden Eagles as they trail 30-10, about midway through the third quarter.
These two guys, Braxton and Chester, have quite the history. Both left high school, went to Tulsa first, then to Marshall. They've had quite the connection in this game.
Braxton's going to pitch it underneath. That's incomplete. He started to run and then saw Metcalf there, tried to shovel it forward. Mekhi Mason there for the breakup. It'll bring up a second down. Chester 4 catches for 118 yards in this ball game. So he is came in with 9 catches for 93 yards. Briggs takes the handoff, and he'll run through the jersey tackle attempt that time, and pick up a few yards.
Caleb Sims had him by the shirt tail, couldn't quite hold on, but when you can slow him down, the rest of the cavalry is on their way to finish it off. Big third down right here, big third down for Southern Miss.
3rd and 8. Got to get the football down to about the 17-yard line.
0.
Braxton back looking. He's got his man. It's a foot race to the end zone, and Louisiana Tech stops him just short. That was Jamal Shelby Jr. Elijah Metcalf found himself wide open in the flat that time, and the Golden Eagles have it 1st and goal at the 1.
Huge third down. You're getting cover 0. What that means is you're going to get inside leverage on the defense. You love out-breaking routes. That's exactly what they went to for a big gain and a big conversion.
No gain on that carry, straight up the middle. Louisiana Tech's defense converging on Matt Jones, and this is where you may see Braylon Braxton use his legs. It'll be up 2nd and goal from the 1.5.
6'2", 230 Braylon Braxton is. Wouldn't be shocked to see him hammer the ball right up the middle in a heavy backfield.
Pistol formation. Jones the tailback. He's going to hand it off to him again, and he's going to spin, and he is going to be just short once again. On this drive for Southern Miss, plays of 23, 19, 14, and 24 yards. 3 of those through the air, 1 on the ground. And it'll bring up a 3rd and goal. Nose of the football almost touching the goal line. And when you got a quarterback that's 6'2", 230, Luke McCown, let's see if they use him right here. And I think they're going to review the play. So they're going to take a look at that last play.
This is where you would love to see offenses put their quarterback under center. It's becoming a lost art in college football. Being able to play from under center, there's such an advantage to it. Especially when you've got a quarterback. I think he's going to be down. The back of his shoulders just shy of the goal line.
It depends on where the football's at. He's not down. He's not down.
Elbow's down.
His elbow grazed the ground prior to that. Otherwise, that may be a touchdown. I don't know if we can see that last angle one more time. He was called to be just short of the goal line.
Watch the left elbow.
At what point is the left elbow down? It comes close at
Hand,
one point.
Elbow.
Is it down? Yep, I think his elbow was down right
line
there, which means the football is short.
At least there's probably not enough to overturn the call. Ball will still be on about the half-yard line. That angle right there is still kind of tough to tell. I think the elbow's down.
Here comes the call. So he is short. Ted Pitts has been busy tonight. I think that's the 4th or 5th review we've had. And so it'll be 3rd and goal. Southern Miss 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. So we'll see if they use their quarterback here.
Carl Chester, 6'3", 200 pounds. You may see them fake it and throw a fade to him. They get a matchup.
Get under center.
Tush
there
push.
He goes. And
they stood it up.
Don't know that he made it. And they're going to call him short. It'll bring up 4th and goal.
They have to go for it.
What a stand by this Louisiana Tech defense. And like Luke just said, down 20 points here with 5:13 to play in the 3rd. You've got to go for it right here.
You got to go for it, and why not? If you don't get it, obviously you're expecting to get it. If you don't get it, you've stopped Louisiana Tech's offense twice in a row now. Their first 2 series coming out of the half, and the ball's on the half-yard line.
So we'll see what Southern Miss elects to do here on 4th and goal.
I still think they may try and get this ball out on the edge somehow. A little tighter split by Chester on this one. They may look for a throw.
He's going to roll, and he pitches it underneath, and he catches it himself. Or is it incomplete?
It's incomplete.
I thought Braxton had caught the deflection and scored the touchdown. They tried the little shovel pass underneath, and the Bulldogs hold 1st and goal.
Well, just like I
from
thought.
The 1, and Louisiana Tech holds on 4 plays.
They try and go up the middle 3 plays in a row. You have to think they're going to try and get the ball on the edge somehow. They run a shovel pass, and it has every opportunity. It's a great play. We lost our screen. There it is. It's a great play by the defense to get a hand on the ball. I'm like you, Malcolm. I thought that Braxton caught the ball himself after the tip ball.
We're going to take a commercial break. 4:34 to play 3rd. It's 30-10. Bulldogs hold.
Around here, Bulldog pride runs deep. Every snap, every pass, every test. When injuries happen, or late-night symptoms hit, just a short drive from Ruston, Reeves Memorial Medical Center is ready. From the sidelines to recovery, we are on your team. Reeves Memorial Medical Center, a proud supporter of Louisiana Tech athletics.
We're ambitious, leaders,
globally minded,
learning online,
and in person.
We're all about building relationships
With students,
with our faculty, with alumni and employers. We're creative, analytical,
and innovative. We're creating solutions for today's complex business issues.
Together, we're the College of Business at Louisiana Tech University, and we're impacting the future of business.
Through the Lincoln Health Foundation, the Health Hut is able to serve the community and allow students from Louisiana Tech to come gain the experience of shadowing and giving back to the community.
As a student, the mentorship program has been such an invaluable resource to me. The transition between undergraduate and graduate school and the application process is so stressful. So having alumni give back to Louisiana Tech has been such an invaluable resource to me, and I definitely wouldn't be where I am without the program.
What a goal line stand for Louisiana Tech's defense. Southern Miss 1st and goal from the 1. And the Bulldogs hold 4 straight plays. That drive started at the 13. Baker's going to take a shot to Gandy. And little jersey tug. I'm not sure whether that one was catchable or not. That might have been why they didn't throw the flag right there. But
that had
it was right
to be
in front of the Louisiana Tech sideline. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
That had to be. I don't mind the play call. try and back the corner up quickly, get the ball off of your goal line. You're also able to use a hard count here. So
handoff up the middle, not a whole lot, although there's the rugby scrum. We've seen a couple
still
tonight,
moving.
And now they'll blow the whistle at the 6, so they pick up 5 yards on that carry by Myri Wiggins. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5. And Luke, if you're Louisiana Tech, your defense just got a phenomenal stop.
And that's
if you're
what
the offense, you got to put some first downs.
Absolutely, got to put some first downs together. Your defense, we talked about it a little while ago, has to be the type of defense, if they want to be respected as a top defense in the country, close out games like this, have key 4-down situations where you stop them on the 1-yard line. Now offense, go do your job and move the ball.
They're going to hand it off to Wiggins. He's being chased from behind, and he'll come up short of the first. It'll be another 3 and out for this Louisiana Tech offense here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Coach Huff has a very fast defense. Coach Franklin talked about the speed on defense. You see Jameer Lewis chasing down the running back right there from the opposite edge. They certainly have speed at the defensive end positions.
So Tech will punt for the 3rd time in this 3rd quarter. Southern Miss will get good field position.
Punt.
That's a great punt. All the way back to the 33-yard line, and he trips up around the 35. That was Elijah Metcalf, the returner for Southern Miss, but what a great job. Let's take a look at that goal line stand once again. Southern Miss had it 1st and goal at the 1.
Heavy backfield, first play. Again, you bring your tight end back, you bring an extra back in the game. 2nd down review, 3rd down quarterback sneak with your big 5th-year senior quarterback. 4th down play, let's get it on the edge, run a shovel pass. Great play by the Tech defense, great 4th down stand to make a statement.
That was a 59-yard punt. By the way, that was Cam Franklin who got his hand on that shovel pass on 4th and goal from the 1. Handoff to Jones. He'll pick up 2 yards for Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles averaging 3.6 yards a play. We're going to send it down to Madison Kaufman.
Guys, this defense continues to stay locked in. They're executing exactly Luke Olson's philosophy. Fly to the ball with bad intentions. You'll even see the coaches down here flapping their hands like wings. They say if you don't get 3 and outs early and often, which is always the goal, you have to make sure that you create takeaways, and that's exactly what they're continuing to do. They said, be ready, stay locked in, and take flight.
Territory, still trailing 30-10. Braxton back. He's under pressure. He escapes. Those underneath his receiver open along the Tech sideline. That's Braylon Brown. And there is a flag down. And it's going to be a roughing the passer, so add on to the completion, and that quickly Southern Miss back into Louisiana Tech territory. And this
critical.
Bulldog defense has been on the field, it feels like, almost the entire 3rd quarter.
Critical plays right there. Maybe a little more man coverage in this situation than I would expect. Now, I'm not the defensive coordinator, but I'm going to try and play full zone and keep this ball in front of me, not give up matchups that allow him to pick apart my defense.
Hands it off to Jones. He tries to bounce it off that left side, picks up a couple of yards. Southern Miss scored on their 2nd and 3rd drives of this ball game. The Golden Eagles with 0 points on their last 6 drives, not counting this one.
Makai Mason, we've called his name a lot in the first half of this season.
Braxton drops back towards the end zone, towards the tight end. He makes a great one-handed catch, but out of the back of the end zone. That was Morse that time, and he'll bring up a 3rd down. And Luke, again, a minute 14 to play in the third quarter. You're down 20 points. This has got to be 4-down territory.
Got to be 4-down territory. Be interested to see what Louisiana Tech does here, because it changes the scope of the defensive call as well. Knowing that they're going to go for it on 4th down, this won't be necessarily a situation where you sell out and go cover 0, although they sure show it right now.
Southern Miss 6 of 12 on 3rd down. Braylon Braxton looks over the Tech defense. Bulldogs bringing pressure. He's going to scramble out of there towards the end zone and incomplete.
That's one I think.
His tailback, Matt Jones.
Braylon Braxton
will
look at again
4th down
tomorrow. Sorry, Malcolm. I think that he'll look at that again tomorrow and go, I think I should have just kept it and ran. He had room. He was at least going to get the 1st down. He's not the speediest of runner, but you've got to get to the 5-yard line. I think he was going to make that yardage to gain the 1st down.
Well, I'm a little surprised, but Southern Miss putting its field goal unit on. It'll be Reed Paradine to attempt a 30-yard field goal. And the kick is up, and it's good. So with 1:05 to play here in the 3rd quarter, Louisiana Tech still leads, but Southern Miss has cut into it by 3. Bulldogs on top 30-13. But
it becomes a possession game now. You understand the number of possessions you generally get in a ball game, be it 10 or 12, about 2 or maybe 3 a quarter. And now you're looking at the scoreboard going, man, we're down by 17. We've got to take the ball back. We've got to find ways to create an extra possession. The defense is going to have to heat up Blake Baker. They're going to have to try and strip the ball. When you're a running back, you're not always going to fight for the extra yardage or being held up. You have to protect the ball when you know a hit is imminent. And if you're Tony Franklin, you're being very strategic in the last 15 minutes of this ball game, 16 minutes of this ball game, with the shots that I take, understanding that it becomes a possession game and a field position game when you're facing a team with Braylon Braxton on the other side.
So Southern Miss gets the 3 points, really another win for the Louisiana Tech defense. A lot of aspects there. Now the Louisiana Tech offense needs to find a way to put some 1st downs together as that kickoff will go through the back of the end zone. Louisiana Tech will take over 1st and 10 at its own 25-yard line. Bulldogs had 277 yards at halftime. They've had only 30 yards in this quarter on 10 offensive plays. Southern Miss with 127 offensive yards. Baker underneath has got his man. He turns and slips down around the 40-yard line. That is Devin Gandy.
Exact same play from the very first play of the game that they hit Eli Finley on, and then again a couple of series later. Great job by Blake Baker working the progression. That was his 3rd or maybe even 4th read to the backside of the play, working the hook to Devin Gandy. Excellent job.
The second 1st down of this quarter. Baker's going to try to follow his blockers. He won't go very far, forced backwards. Gain of a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9, and that should be the last play. As there's a little pulling and shoving down there around the pile, but that should be the last play of this 3rd quarter. I wouldn't imagine Louisiana Tech will opt to run it as well, the last 5 seconds will tick off the clock. So a very defensive 3rd quarter. Southern Miss does put a field goal on the board, but Louisiana Tech will head to the 4th quarter leading 30-13 here at Joe I. Stadium. Louisiana Tech will host the Bradshaw Brooks Golf Tournament presented by Origin Bank on October the 31st. Help us welcome two Bulldog icons back to Ruston and support Tech athletics. Sponsorship packages are still available. For more information, please visit the Louisiana Tech Championship Resort website at buildthelegacy.com. And Blake Baker tries to run off that left side. Nothing doing, and Tech with another third down and long. So it'll be 3rd and 9. Tech 2 of 9 on third downs. 0 of 3 in this second half. Baker has time over the middle. That's Finley, but he's going to be well short of the first down. And once again, it'll be a well, they got a first down, but it'll be another punt coming up for Louisiana Tech. This will be the, fourth punt of the second half. And so give a lot of credit to the Southern Miss defense. They have kept the Bulldogs offense at bay here in this second half.
And it comes down to first and second down, right? Being efficient on first and second down so that you're not in a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 long yardage situation. But good job by Blake Baker taking what the defense gave him, because now you give your punter an opportunity to pin them, hopefully inside their own 10-yard line with a decent punt. It becomes a field position battle.
This has been something John Hoy Chance has been really good at this year. And he will do it once again as the Bulldogs will down it inside the 20-yard line. And that's where Southern Miss will take over. And now what do we got? A flag. Got a flag, late flag thrown here as both teams were running off the field.
You're going to say,
oh, illegal touching. So they'll place the ball at the spot. That is, by the way, 6 receptions for Eli Finley tonight. That is a career high. There's a look at John Hoyt Chance, the CUSA Specialist of the Week. He's earned that honor a couple of times this year. So Southern Miss will have it after a 43-yard punt. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Handoff up the middle. And that'll be Jalen Carter, freshman from Valdosta, Georgia, with a nice run out past the 24 first down.
very good play call on first down, understanding the coverage that you're going to get with this type of lead. Decent draw play up the middle.
Braxton throws it underneath. Once again, that's going to be Carter, and he'll pick up about 5 yards on the play.
When you're down by 17, this is the kind of game it turns into. You have to take what the defense gives you, move around, throw checkdowns. There's not going to be a lot of open throws down the field.
Handoff off this side. A nice cut and a nice open field tackle that time for Louisiana Tech. That'll be Sam Fongang. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Fongang coming in for Jakari Foster, who was DQ'd because of a targeting call in the first quarter. He's done a good job stepping in for Foster, who's made a lot of plays in this game, in the first couple of games of this season.
Southern Miss 6 of 13 on 3rd downs. Tech just rushing 3. It's going to allow the quarterback out of the pocket, and it's knocked down by Chief Leota.
Excellent job by Chief, staying in phase. He's the spy, if you will, in a drop 8 defense. He's going to mirror the movement of the quarterback. You see him moving down the line there. He's mirroring the movement of the quarterback and playing his eyes. Don't extend your hands until you see the ball break from the quarterback's carriage. When he pushes the ball back in his backswing, don't raise your hands until then. You have an opportunity to knock the ball down.
The punt is away. Nice punt. Sends Latulis back to the 20. He makes a man miss and will go down at about the 27. And that's where Louisiana Tech will have it 1st and 10. as the Bulldogs lead 30-13 here, 11:50 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Health Foundation, the Health Hut is able to serve the community and allow students from Louisiana Tech to come gain the experience of shadowing and giving back to the community.
As a student, the mentorship program has been such an invaluable resource to me. The transition between undergraduate and graduate school and the application process is so stressful. So having alumni give back to Louisiana Tech has been such an invaluable resource to me, and I definitely wouldn't be where I am without the program.
To 13, Louisiana Tech leads here at Joe IA Stadium. There's a look at the next home games for Louisiana Tech. Bulldogs have 3 of them left. That's presented by Experience Ruston. Explore, experience, enjoy. Bulldogs will be back at home for a couple of midweeks, including a Halloween night homecoming game October 31st against Sam Houston. 1st and 10 for Louisiana Tech. They'll hand it off up the middle. And this, Luke, is where if you're Louisiana Tech, you're up 17 points, 11 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. You want to be able to control the football, drive it down the field, and put a nail in the coffin.
I was just writing down offensive keys to finishing the game. 1st and 2nd down efficiency, both in the pass and the run. You're not going to expose the ball to harm. In other words, you probably won't see very many throws down the field to try and convert anything. The clock is now the enemy. We got to keep it moving. We also want to protect our yardage. No sacks, no penalties. We want to protect the yardage so that if we have to punt, as was the case in the last drive, we get to pin them inside the 10-yard line. We can protect the yardage and make them go the distance to have to score.
Andrew Burnett on the last 2 carries. Gain of 9 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Bulldogs 0 for 4 on 3rd down here in the second half. So a pistol formation. Burnett slipped before he got the handoff, and he's going to be a yard short. Well, Burnett slipped when he started to come out of the pistol formation for the handoff, and I think that might have cost him. And now Louisiana Tech with a decision on 4th and 1 at its own 38-yard line. And here comes the punting unit.
Yeah. It's probably too early still to run this down and take a timeout. You don't want to burn a timeout for that. And you certainly don't want to back up 5 yards for a delay. I see them snapping this and punting it, but not until it's 1 second on the clock.
Punt is away. It's another good punt. That'll send Metcalf back inside the 15. And it will be, what a play by the Louisiana Tech special teams player. That's Marlon Jackson. He prevented that from going into the end zone and being a touchback, and instead Southern Miss will take over on its own 3-yard line. What a great play right there.
A huge effort play, and this is what I was talking about, protecting the yardage, not taking sacks, not taking penalties, protecting that yardage for your punter. It becomes a field position game. You're able to kick it inside the 5-yard line. Now they have to go 97 yards to score.
60-yard punt. We'll be back. After the 60-yard punt by John Hoyt Chance, Southern Miss backed up to its own 3-yard line. Louisiana Tech offense unable to put the nail in the coffin. Now, maybe the Bulldog defense, you have an opportunity. If you're Southern Miss, you still have life. And Braylon Braxton has another opportunity. He's going to have to do it mostly through the air, you got to think. He's going to roll out. Finds his tight end. Nice play on first down.
Rally and tackle. No easy chunk plays. Make them work for it. Make them use the clock. Make them have to go on a 10 or 12 play drive to score. No easy yardage here for this Golden Eagle offense.
And if you're Southern Miss, you're looking for some chunk plays here. They've had a few tonight. Throws it to the far side, right in front of the Southern Miss bench. And that's complete for a first down. That is Braylon Brown on the catch. (30-13). Tech led 30-10 at halftime. They only scored in the second half. A field goal by Southern Miss. Pitch it out to the far side, and Louisiana Tech converges out there. That was Matt Jones, who got upended by Amari Butler and company. Second down and 10, and really, you could argue the two biggest plays of this ball game are by the Louisiana Tech defense. Kobe Fields on the interception return for a touchdown in the first half, and that goal line stand. Southern Miss had 4 plays from the 1-yard line, and Louisiana Tech held.
No question about it.
Braxton has time. Now he dumps it to his tailback, who will pick up the first down out to the 30-yard line. Braylon Braxton keeping the play alive, doing a nice job. Kobe Fields on the tackle.
And again, it may seem like you just gave up a first down play, and while that's a conversion, that play took 10 or 12 seconds to get off.
Braxton's going to throw it up the field, and it is knocked away. That was Chester that it was intended for, knocked away by Joshua Cobbs.
That was an excellent play by Josh Cobbs. Getting his hand in between the hands of the receiver, seeing the ball caught, and just run your arm up through the hands of the receiver and knock the ball out. Great play.
Briggs will take the handoff, and he'll pick up 3 yards on second down. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7. Bulldog defensive player slow to get up. That's Sam Fongang. Tech already without Jakari Foster, who was disqualified in the first half for a targeting call, and Fongang coming off the field. I'm not sure he knows exactly where he's at right now. So
He took a knee to the head. That's what it looked like.
So it'll be 3rd and 7.
Big third down here for the Bulldog defense. Keep it in front of you. Rally and tackle. Rally and tackle.
Braxton looks, slant pass, throws it high and behind his receiver. And that'll bring up 4th down. And with 7:32 to play, you're down 3 scores. I think you got to keep your offense out there.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. They're not going to have maybe 2 more possessions in this ball game if they're lucky.
So a big 4th down here on Southern Miss 33-yard line. They've got to get out to the 40. Let's see if Louisiana Tech chooses to bring pressure.
Look for this ball to go to Carl Chester.
Braxton trying to draw the Bulldogs off sides. And now a timeout called by Southern Miss. Oh. It was a delay of game. No timeout called. They were just trying to draw Louisiana Tech off sides. The Bulldogs held their water that time, and so it's a delay of game instead of the timeout. It'll push it back 5 yards, and so Southern Miss will elect to punt it right here, Luke McCown.
Yeah, it says a lot. I think they obviously, had they gotten the offsides penalty, they would have gone for it. It would have been a 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 at that point. Now this kind of tells you where their mindset is, that they have to punt this ball. That comes off his foot bad.
It'll take a nice roll for Southern Miss. Kendrick Latulis just gets out of the way. No need to chance it here. And with 7:24 to play here in this 4th quarter, Louisiana Tech will take over after a 50-yard punt. We'll be back to the Joe I. Stadium. Louisiana Tech takes over, leading 30-13, 7:24 to play. First 3 possessions of this ball game, Louisiana Tech offensively, 18 plays, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal. Ball's handed off to Wiggins off the left side. The last 6 tries for Louisiana Tech, 32 plays, only 128 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 punts. Can take it even further. Since halftime, Luke, Bulldogs have run now 18 plays for 60 yards. And Bulldogs just offensively have not gotten any kind of rhythm in this second half. Give a lot of credit to Southern Miss.
Sure.
Their defense has played really well in this second half.
Sure, but this is something they're going to have to take a long, hard look at going forward into conference play, coming out of halftime. And they're going to have to make some adjustments to their approach to how they come out of halftime with scheme, personnel, play calling, all of it.
And Baker's just going to hang on to it, lose 2 yards. And
take this clock all the way down.
We were surprised that Southern Miss elected to punt down 3 scores with 7 minutes to play. They had a 4th and 7 on their own 33-yard line. And we talked off the air. If this was a 2-score game, 16 points, could understand it a little better. 3 scores, it's hard to be guaranteed that you're going to get the ball back 3 times. But having said that, their defense has played extremely well, and if Louisiana Tech doesn't get a first down right here, the Bulldogs will be punting it away. Baker's going to keep it, and he's going to pick up about 3 yards, and Louisiana Tech's going to punt it. Right now,
Louisiana
the
Tech's
Bulldogs are saying our defense is playing so well.
Yep.
We're willing to punt it back to you, and we just don't feel like, based off of the way our defense is playing, you're going to be able to score 17 or more points in the last 5.5 minutes.
Well, and even if I'm Sonny right here, I take it down to 1 second, and I use my timeout. I'm going to burn as much time off of this thing without backing up 5 yards. I'm going to use this timeout right here before I punt it.
Now Tech snaps it with 8 seconds. A nice punt by John Hoyt. Chance fair catch called forward, made back at the 22, and there's a silly penalty by Louisiana Tech. It'll be a 15-yarder, and he couldn't have seen the fair catch signal.
Oh, man. Penalties, penalties, penalties. You can't do that when you're trying to close out a team.
So a break for Southern Miss as they'll get an extra 15 yards. That was Tevinen, the Louisiana Tech running back.
Yep.
And so Southern Miss will start 1st and 10 at the 39. That was a 52-yard punt.
Braylon Braxton, it's a preseason Offensive Player of the Year for the Sun Belt Conference. He's got to start putting the ball a little bit in harm's way. You've got to force it down the field if you want to score quickly.
Back, he's looking, he's got time, and he'll swing it to the side for a pickup of a yard or 2.
He had Elijah Metcalf by himself about 30 yards down, standing on the 35-yard line on their sideline by himself. Would have been a huge gain.
Morris on the catch, pickup of 2 yards. Braxton looking again over the middle, and he completes it past midfield for a first down. It'll be Braylon Brown.
If I had a criticism for Braylon Braxton, and there's not much, the guy throws the ball very well. He's very efficient, very accurate, but he doesn't push the ball down the field quite like you want to. Case in point, on the play just prior to this, he had Elijah Metcalf on a sail route. You have a clear route or a post by your outside receiver, a sail route by your inside and a flat. In this situation in the game, you're looking for opportunities to push the ball down the field. He's a little too careful with the ball, in my opinion.
Southern Miss has outgained Louisiana Tech 432 to 338, but the Bulldogs lead on the scoreboard 30 to 13. Braxton's going to try to take off on a quarterback draw, goes nowhere on first down. That'll bring up second down. Jaden Matkins on the tackle.
No one ever accused me of being too careful with the ball, Malcolm.
You knew how to force it down the field. There's no doubt about it. There wasn't a throw you didn't think you could make.
That's exactly right.
He'll take off and run. He'll pick up about 5 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Golden Eagles. Zion Nason that time catches him from behind.
Keep the ball in front of you, rally and tackle. No silly, undisciplined penalties. Man coverage with pressure coming.
Louisiana Tech does bring pressure, and the quarterback puts his head down. Somehow he'll pick up a couple of yards, as that was that 230-pound frame just pushing the pile forward. He'll bring up a 4th down and 5.
Definitely going for it here in 4th and 5.
Clock approaching 3 minutes. Tech leads by 3 scores. Southern Miss has an offensive lineman limping off. That's Maui.
Now, there's a little gamesmanship because they subbed, we get to sub. We can take our time subbing. We just get the opportunity to.
4th down. He's going to try to take off. He throws it here to the near side. Couple of missed tackles, and he'll dive forward. And Carter may have picked up the 1st down, and if he did it by himself. But I think he's going to be about 2 yards short. But that was a great effort by Jalen Carter for Southern Miss. But he will come up short, and the Louisiana Tech defense appears to have held.
What a huge stop right there. Again, keep it in front of you, rally and tackle. Everybody run to the football. Meet at the ball with bad intentions, as Coach Olson always says. That's a great job by the Bulldog defense.
So with 2:42 remaining, Louisiana Tech's offense will come back out, and the Bulldogs lead it 30-13. Southern Miss with 2 timeouts remaining. Monty Gibbons, the tailback for Louisiana Tech. Baker fakes the handoff to him and goes straight forward. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure with 2.5 minutes to play, leading by 17, I want my quarterback to continue to take hits, especially when I have some fresh tailbacks I could allow to take the hits.
You've got 4 capable running backs. Hand it to them. Let them share the load. Save the young quarterback's body.
So timeout is called. Southern Miss trying to preserve some time here. Blake Baker has carried the ball 10 times tonight. Took that 11 times now for 28 yards. It's been some tough running tonight for the Louisiana Tech quarterback.
They're in their 4-minute offense now. It's part of situational football. You practice it all week, usually on Thursday. You practice this part of the game. Understanding that you're not trying to hit home runs. When you're the running back or the quarterback and you enter a pile of bodies, go down. Don't let them hold you up. Don't let them tee off on your quarterback or your running back, and don't let them strip the ball.
It was Clay Tevin on the carry that time. It appears that this clock will go down to the 2-minute timeout. Louisiana Tech will be faced with a 3rd and long. The Bulldogs only 2 first downs in this second half. Ooh. But it's been the Louisiana Tech defense that has continued to stand tall. And again, you have to point to the interception return and the defensive stand on the goal line, and that's a big reason Louisiana Tech's going to get away with their 3rd win of the year. We're going to send a commercial break. We'll be back. There's a look at the Louisiana Tech Band of Pride. There's some happy campers tonight. Their team on top 30-13 with 2 minutes to play. Bulldogs have a 3rd down and 8, and Baker will take it up the middle. And Southern Miss will call their last timeout. Luke, barring one of the greatest comebacks in the history of college football, Louisiana Tech's about to win back-to-back games. It's the first time the Bulldogs have won back-to-back games. You got to go all the way back to 2020.
Oh, man.
That was the COVID year. Tech also going to start 3-1 for the first time since 2019. That year, Tech started 8-1. Eventually played and beat Miami, the Hurricanes, in the Independence Bowl that year.
You can feel this team really starting to come together and believe. They've got to clean up their second half mechanics on offense, find out a way to get yourself rolling. I don't know what it is, change practice habits. I don't know what it is, but they're going to look at that hard. We've got to be better coming out of the half on offense. And for the defense, keep doing what you're doing. This was a statement game for the rest of the Sun Belt Conference. Coach Olson said everybody's going to be watching this. They want to know who you are coming into their conference. And this is going to be a big win for this Bulldog team.
That punt is, well, could have
be
been.
down on the 1 yard line.
They're going to give it to them on the 1. You have to have control over it. Is that correct?
I believe it is.
And as long as you have control, you can cross. So a great job by the Tech special teams unit that time. I bet you if they look at that one again, they will pull it out to the 20-yard line. It's a 67-yard punt. John Hoyt Chance tonight has punted now 8 times, and he is averaging, after that one, over 50 yards a punt.
Wow.
Let's see if they look at that one again. Southern Miss going to start 1st and 10 at their own 1 yard line. I guess they won't.
They're going to leave it alone.
And there they are. I think they are going to look at it. Yep. I was a little surprised it took that long, but I do believe when they go back and look at it, they're going to bring this one back out to the 20-yard line. But
I agree.
Again, I want to tip my cap to John Hoyt Chance, the Louisiana Tech punter in this ball game. He has been phenomenal. Redshirt freshman out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Came in averaging 43 yards a punt. His long was 59. He's already surpassed that a couple of times tonight, and that average definitely going to go up. That young man has had a great night punting the football for Louisiana Tech. And there you see the replay. I really think that that's going to come back out to the 20. Want to take an opportunity to give a shout out to our production crew tonight. These broadcasts, it will be a touchback. These broadcasts produced in-house, George Brandon, Jack Stribney, Carson Freyu, along with all their great student workers that man cameras and other parts of the production. Couldn't be on the air and do the job we do without those guys behind the scenes. So a great job to George, Jack, Carson, and the gang. So Southern Miss will have it 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line after the touchback. Braxton back over the middle, and that pass is complete out to the 30-yard line.
We talked about this at the beginning of the broadcast, this being their first road game, being the Golden Eagles. This defensive line, rushing mostly with just 3, has done a fantastic job keeping Braylon Braxton uncomfortable, moving in the pocket.
That pass is incomplete. That was intended for Elijah Metcalf.
Case in point, not being able to set his feet, not being able to necessarily stay in rhythm and make on-time and accurate throws. So kudos to that defensive line, who Coach Olson said is really a strength of the defense.
Second down and 10. 1:27 remaining in this ball game. Tech up by 17. He'll throw it out to the flat. That's Carter. And he makes 3 Bulldogs miss, makes 2 more Bulldogs miss, and picks up a first down. That won't please Luke Olson when he goes in back and watches film on that one. Braxton's going to take a shot up the right side, double coverage, and knocked away. There's a flag. There's a couple of flags down. And they may have gotten Louisiana Tech for 12 men on the field. Yep. One of the Bulldog linemen didn't get off. And so they called him. 12 men on the field. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Southern Miss will be back at home next week. They will take on another Conference USA team, Jacksonville State. Louisiana Tech will head out on the road. Back into Conference USA play. They'll be out in El Paso to take on UTEP. Braxton. And he gets out of a bind and will run out of bounds. I tell you what, Braylon Braxton, he's a magician back there. Kind of Houdini. It looked like there was no way that he was going to get away. Eric Hill, former Ruston Bearcat, out there.
He's a really good player, this Braylon Braxton. I've been very impressed with him all night long.
He's going to throw it out to the far side, complete for a first down. Inside of a minute remaining, 52 seconds.
When he's in rhythm and in flow of the offense, in structure and on time, he's as good as there is in the country.
Takes a shot, and there's a flag that hit the Louisiana Tech defender that time. And so I guess that means the flag is going to be on Cameron Carter. Kobe Fields tonight, 9 tackles for Louisiana Tech, half a sack, an interception, and a touchdown on that interception. Blake Baker threw for 239 yards for the Bulldogs tonight, most of that coming in the first half. In fact, over 120 came in the first quarter. Braxton looking under pressure, and he'll just throw it out of bounds this time, as that was Jaden Mayfield. Braylon Braxton over 300 yards passing in this ball game, 321. 34 seconds remaining. Bulldogs on their way to improving to 3-1. Southern Miss will fall to 2-2. Braxton has plenty of time. Now he's going to be under pressure, and he throws that one away. Good job downfield by Louisiana Tech coverage-wise, because Braylon Braxton had time that time.
Yeah, you know what they're doing. They have to throw it, obviously. Braylon Braxton not wanting to put the ball in harm's way. No reason to give this defense an extra turnover on the stat sheet, so he just throws it away.
So 3rd down and 10. You know, the Louisiana Tech defense,
bringing 5,
doesn't want to give up another touchdown. Opportunity right there, knocked up into the air and caught on the deflection for a touchdown by the Golden Eagles. That'll be Davis Dalton. So Southern Miss with 22 seconds remaining in this ball game. On the touchdown pass to Dalton.
Redshirt junior from Madison, Mississippi. That's his first catch of the season. It's not a bad way to start off your season on the stat sheet with a tip pass and a touchdown.
In the right place at the right time. Extra point is up and good. And so with 22 seconds remaining in this ball game, Louisiana Tech leads it 30-20.
I'm not sure how you grade that in the film tomorrow if you're Coach Olson. It's good coverage. It's a pass broken up, and yet it ends up in a touchdown late in the ball game.
Now, Louisiana Tech will play next Saturday in El Paso, and then Conference USA goes into this October schedule where every game is a midweek game. There are no Saturdays, so La Tech's next 4 games after next weekend will all fall on weekdays, including, as I mentioned, a homecoming contest on Halloween night against Sam Houston.
And they'll look to try and get healthy quick. A couple of guys dinged up in this game. We didn't see Trey Kukuk at all in this game, dealing with what is believed to be a shoulder injury. But he is dressed. He was capable of playing. They just didn't want to expose him to further injury of that shoulder, but we expect them to stick with the 2 quarterback rotation when he's healthy.
Louisiana Tech calls a timeout as they want to make sure that their hands team, which they have out there, is ready for what we think will be an onside kick here. If it was only an 8-point game or a 7-point game, there would be a little more stress involved with this onside kick, but
Correct.
In a 10-point game, a lot of things have to go wrong if you're Louisiana Tech. A lot of things have to go right if you're Southern Miss.
Correct, and it's still about execution. These aren't situations that you get in very often throughout the course of a season, but you do practice them a lot. And so when you have opportunity to get real-time reps, real live game reps in these situations, a hands team situation, a 4-minute run situation, a backed up situation, all the different key situations in a game, you don't always get live reps. So when you get live reps, you want to make the most of them.
Straight up the middle, the ball is recovered by Louisiana Tech. And now after the play is over, a little pushing and shoving, Eli Finley recovered that onside kick. Striped shirt step in, try to break this thing up. And Louisiana Tech will take over. The Bulldogs will kneel on it one time, and this ball game will be over. We'll have an opportunity to talk with Sonny Cumbie and I believe Eli Finley. Following this broadcast, Madison Kaufman is going to try to catch them down on the field. Bulldogs will be in victory formation here. A successful red out if you're a Louisiana Tech fan.
It's a great crowd tonight. 17,108, I think it said.
Baker will take it. He'll kneel on it. And the final 15 seconds will tick off the clock. Charles Huff and Sonny Cumbie head to the middle of the field. They will exchange pleasantries. And Louisiana Tech improves to 3-1 on the season, while Southern Miss falls to 2-2. And again, Luke, a lot of good things, especially defensively. The first half offensively was really good for Louisiana Tech. Not much offensive all in the second half for the Bulldogs, but because of how well the defense played and the special teams played, Louisiana Tech able to pick up their 3rd win.
Well, the defense is the strength of this team, and they're going to win as the defense goes right now. You've got a young quarterback still learning the game. You've got a lot of different things that have to get cleaned up with regards to the second half. So your defense and the experience that they have on that side of the ball has to be the strength of your team, and right now they are.
We'll have an opportunity for Madison Kaufman to talk with Eli Finley. We'll send it down there.
All right, Eli, have yourself a day. Your first game with over 100 yards, averaging 25 per carry. What was clicking for you tonight?
I mean, we were clicking on all cylinders. I mean, the good thing, there's good and there's bad from that. The good is, hey, we won. The bad thing is we haven't played a full 4-quarter game yet, so I'm excited to see what we can do.
Absolutely. And preseason, you said that Tony Franklin was really bringing the joy back to football. That's saying a lot. This is your third season here. What's special about this team in particular?
I mean, we're a band of brothers. The community, the city of Ruston, I love it here. I mean, so this is a place to be.
Congratulations and good luck next week.
Eli Finley, career highs in receptions with 6, career high in yards with 155. He started the night with a bang, a 72-yard completion all the way down to the 1-yard line on the first offensive snap of the night for Louisiana Tech. Bulldogs jumped up on top 7-0. Louisiana Tech eventually pushed that lead out to 30-10 at halftime. Bulldogs defense stands tall in the second half. Southern Miss defense played extremely well in the second half. They held Louisiana Tech off the scoreboard, but that 20-point halftime deficit simply too much to overcome. Now, Louisiana Tech feeling good, 3-1. They've got to go on the road. El Paso, been there numerous times. UTEP, a difficult place to go play.
Extremely difficult place to play, and a good team, new coaching staff. They're going to have a new energy as well. You're on the road. It is an altitude change. There's a lot that goes into preparing for that game. But there's a lot to like about this Louisiana Tech Bulldog team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And if you want to be talked about as one of the best defenses in the conference, in the country, you've got to close out games the way they did tonight, even when your offense isn't moving the ball as well as they did in the first half.
But again, Louisiana Tech, this 2 weeks in a row where the Bulldog offense looked really good in the first half and just dried up a little bit in the second half. Last week they were able to score some touchdowns in that fourth quarter. But this Bulldog defense, I tell you what, if you can get a lead, it's like putting in Mariano Rivera to close out a ball game if you're the New York Yankees. This Tech defense has done the job, though I can promise you Sonny Cumbie would much rather the offense continue to extend the lead out. He's heading over to talk to Madison Kaufman. We'll send it back down to Madison.
Congratulations on a big-time win. Eli Finley had his most involved game of the season so far. What did you think about his performance?
Well, I think we did early on. We knew coming into it they weren't great with their eyes, their linebacker and safety. And I think some of the stuff we were doing play action wise drew him up. He was able to get behind the coverage, and then the third time he caught it, he did a great job versus man coverage. And I think it's a testament to him. Last week he didn't have one catch, but he played his tail off, and the ball found him tonight early, and he made big plays.
Being down here on this sideline, I would say something felt different about the energy on the field and on the sidelines tonight. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think he was, and the thing is, we're glad to be 3-1. We've got a sustained energy for 4 quarters, but really proud of how our team came out, got a big lead, and we were able to just, not on purpose sit on it, but we were able to hold them off.
This is the first 3-0 start at home since 2019 for Bulldog football. How can you carry that momentum into 2 road games?
Well, celebrate it tonight, having awareness of what it took to get to this point, and then move past it. We've got to play really well on the road if we want to win the conference, and so celebrate it tonight. I think that we have a great taste from the victory, but also in terms of the second half, we know we're capable of being a lot better.
Congratulations, Coach. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, that's Louisiana Tech head coach Sonny Cumbie. He watched his Bulldogs. Speaking of Bulldogs, there was Techie. They go to a 3-1 start. Louisiana Tech will head back on the road next week. And again, Luke, we talked about it. Bulldog defensively played extremely well. The offense played well in the first half, built the big lead. Special teams played well tonight. But Sonny Cumbie knows if you're going to go on the road and consistently win, you're going to have to be able to score points in the second half, and I think that's probably one of the biggest things this week the Bulldogs will focus on.
Yeah, you heard him say it just then. Understand what it took to get this win. Understand the preparation, the week of practice that it took to get here, and then duplicate that. Understand what it's going to take to win on the road versus a very good Conference USA opponent coming up this weekend.
Well, that'll just about do it for our broadcast. Our final score, Louisiana Tech 30, Southern Miss 20. For Luke McCown and Madison Kaufman, I'm Malcolm Butler saying good night from Joe IA Stadium in Ruston. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.